homes. A progressive group is encouraging protests at the homes of 6 justices, putting up a map, even offering stipends.
That's Fox's Doug Luz. Head of the White House encourages the protesters to be peaceful, but Republicans say going to justices' homes goes too far and risks violence. Senator John Cornyn tells Fox it's
an attempt to intimidate the justices and a threat to judicial independence.
The Senate's Democratic leader, Chuck Schumer, wants Congress to make abortion legal.
Next week, the U.S. Senate is going to vote on legislation to codify a woman's right to seek an abortion into federal law.
But that vote's expected to fail with not enough support to overcome a Republican filibuster. COVID cases have been slowly rising, with the CDC predicting a bigger increase to come as 3 Omicron subvariants spread. Hospitalizations up 20% the past week in the U.S. at a time when some funding dries up.
There was a $20 billion government COVID program that paid for vaccines, testing, and treatment of the uninsured, but that's been shut down. There's also Medicaid coverage in more than a dozen states to help, but that's only going to be around for a few months more.
Fox's Jill Nato. The Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine keeps falling out of favor over a rare but serious blood clot risk. The FDA now says it should only be given to those who cannot, for some reason, get the Moderna or Pfizer vaccines, or if someone specifically requests the J&J shot. Cheers, it's SpaceX. That's the moment early this morning on NASA TV when 4 astronauts came back to Earth, splashing into the Gulf off the Florida coast after a 6-month trip to the International Space Station. America's listening to Fox News.
You heard us right. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right all along.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News, traffic.
If you're out on the roads in Lee County at this early hour, no major incidents to slow you down. Just tracking a few delays in Lehigh Acres on Lee Boulevard headed in the westbound direction towards State Road 82. Metro Parkway in Fort Myers also a little slow moving in the northbound direction towards Daniels Parkway, and 41 in Fort Myers a little slow moving northbound direction as you head past South Street towards downtown Fort Myers. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Taylor Wertz, Wink News.
It's all right here at 92.5 Fox News. We've been right all along.
Let's hear from Dr. Johnston at 596 Back.
Have you ever had pain down your legs or into your hips and thought, why is this happening? There's a large nerve that comes out of your back that runs down into your leg called the sciatic nerve. This nerve can get compressed by a bulging herniated disc, arthritis, stenosis, or scoliosis. This causes sciatica, which eventually can lead to back, leg, or hip pain, weakness, or numbness. Avoid the Band-Aids like anti-inflammatories, spinal injections, or painful surgery. Sciatica, as well as bulging disc neuropathy and stenosis, can now effectively be treated with non-surgical spinal decompression at Johnston Spinal Care, 596 Back. Spinal decompression decompresses the discs and nerves, allowing them to heal. FDA cleared, safe and comfortable. Make a decision to live life without pain. Call my office, Johnston Spinal Care, for a free telephone consultation. 596 Back. 596 Back. That's 596-2225.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help.
Check.
I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back. And we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Termites are silent destroyers. They can tunnel through homes for years without a peep. Unless you've invited Truly Nolan to chase down and eliminate the problem. Truly Nolan's above and below ground treatments have been keeping homes termite-free for more than 80 years. Matter of fact, we believe our total termite protection plan is the most effective plan of its kind in the country. When Truly Nolan has termites in their sights, there's no escape. Schedule your free inspection and get $100 off termite control by going to trulynolan.com or call 800-GO-TRULY.
Do you have an old sedan? Sutherland buys it. How about a minivan? Sutherland buys it. A souped-up truck? Sutherland buys it. No matter what, Sutherland buys it. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral will buy your car right now. Click SutherlandBuysIt.com and get $8,000 more than your trade is worth. $8,000 more. Then come shop the #1 certified dealer. Get certified Ultima, certified Rogue, certified Titans. Pay thousands less than new. Get a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, plus free gas for the rest of the summer. And remember, click SutherlandBuysIt.com for $8,000 more than book value for your trade, no matter what it is or where you bought it, through Monday only. Hurry to Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore, online at flnissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much. See dealer for details.
Stop by Family Dollar and find everything you need to celebrate Mom. Make her feel extra special with our selection of balloons, cards, sweets, decorations, and scented candles. And be sure to shop our apparel and accessories aisles to complete the perfect gift. There are so many ways to say I love you, all at great value in one convenient store. There's more love for Mom on her day, only at Family Dollar.
I'm Keith with Storm Shield Windows and Doors. For the past 50 years plus, salesmen have been invading people's homes and privacy, forcing high-pressure sales tactics down their throat. At Storm Shield, we believe in respecting your needs and wants. New for 2022, we are now offering in-office consultations. This means you, the client, pick the day and the time and come to our facility at your leisure. Just measure your windows and doors, width and height, take photos, and come on down and check us out. One of our professional and knowledgeable staff will assist you with your questions, show you our product, take you on a tour of our facility, or even just simply give you a quick estimate. We're here to serve you and make you comfortable. We're here to attend to your every need and want. After all, you are the boss and we work for you. Call Storm Shield now to set up a free in-office consultation at 239-491-7002. That's 239-491-7002. License number CGC A60475.
Thank you for waking us all up out here. For all you do. And
thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic. I want to thank you for
your support for veterans in the military.
Educating us.
Standing up for conservatism.
Giving us the truth.
Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It is time. It is the place. It is Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road. We always appreciate everybody stopping by early and hanging out with us on our first Friday of the month, Oaks Farm Seed to Table. And you know, it doesn't get any better than Seed to Table where we are this morning, and cannot tell you how much we appreciate everything that happens here on our Friday. This Friday is going to be a little extra special as later on this morning, 8 o'clock, scheduled to be on with us via phone will be Bill O'Reilly. He's got a brand new book out, Killing the Killers. We're going to talk about that and maybe hit some headlines as well. And also, the reason why, if people don't know, why I was not here yesterday, and I'll get into the reason why I was not on the air in just a second. First of all, just so you know, all right, this is the place to be. If you are a foodie or a non-foodie or just somebody who loves to see something extra special, this is the place. Seed to Table, 9 special food outlets all over the store. The latest addition is they got a new stir-fry station, Jake, so there you go. Great place to shop with the kids as well. Maybe a date night, drop the kids off to the playroom, and you got some me time right here because you got the great entertainment happening. Live bands Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 7 nights a week. The produce department is amazing. The freshest vegetables anywhere. And it's all right here at Oaks Farm Seed to Table. So come on down and join us at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples. All right, first things first. Jake sent me a picture. All right, Jake, here we go. It's, by the way, Jake Day. So happy Jake Day to everybody that's here, and a happy Jake Day to you, Jake. Now, you sent me a picture. People are freaking out this morning. Why are they freaking, Jake? What's going on here?
Sorry, most definitely alien intervention.
Do you really think that it's aliens? Okay. For those that don't know, Jake got a ton of people texting, and even on the text line, 239-479-5592, I'm seeing some of the texts like, what's going on here? What is this? It's very alien looking, and for those that don't know, I guess there was a SpaceX launch, or there was a launch just a little while ago. And when the atmosphere is cool the way it is at this time of the year, you get this kind of weird, odd, sort of ominous-looking cloud. It very much looks like aliens are hovering over Fort Myers. That's what the picture looks like, right? So people are freaking out. So calm down. Everything is fine. We're not being invaded by aliens. And the sad part about it is that Jake was super excited about it because he thought, this is it. This is the time that we lock this down. Sorry, Jakey Jake. Not today.
All right, that's fine.
Okay, that's fine. All right, good to know you're awake, and have been. So no, really, you got a lot of. You did get a lot of texts, didn't you? You did get a lot of people freaking out.
Listen, we have been contacted. You're not taking this serious, okay?
No,
There's
I'm not.
an alien spacecraft outside of the radio station right now, and I'm here by myself.
Please don't do that. It's not all right. There's nothing outside. Nothing. You're not there by yourself. By the way, look through the glass. There's a whole building full of people. You didn't see them?
No, they all went outside one by one to observe it, and then they all got pulled up into it like cows.
Like cows.
Because, cows are normally what aliens abduct.
Yeah,
for
why
whatever
is that?
reason.
Has anybody ever asked that
really
question?
know.
I mean, this is not where I wanted to start the show on this Friday, but why don't you ask that question? Why is it that the cows are the ones that they suck up? Haven't you thought about? I mean, is it what? They don't have milk there, or what? Good quality beef?
If you think about it, I think we're the only mammals that continue to drink milk after adolescence. So it would make the most sense that they would just go in and modify the milk, and then in return modify our DNA with the milk, and then that kind of thing's going on. So it's a little bit of DNA, gene modification going on. So that's what I think.
The really sad part about it is, it sounds like you really thought about this. Like you've really thought this out a lot, like way too much.
No, that was the first time, just really off the top of the head.
And you know what?
It makes sense.
It does make sense.
About it.
The whole after adolescence thing with the milk going on there, I really don't know how that works. Yeah, you don't hear about rabbits asking for a glass of milk after they're. All right, 239-479-5592 is the Brett AC talking text line. Now, I didn't tell anybody what was going on yesterday, why I wasn't on the air, and so
Mike did.
What's that?
Mike did.
Oh, he told everybody? Okay. No, I don't mind that everybody knows. I just didn't say anything ahead of time just because, to be quite honest, I didn't say anything ahead of time because I thought, what happens if I don't go? What happens if what if I'm getting punked? Like, what if I show up and they're like, what are you doing here? Like, nobody's here. I'm standing outside. So I kind of waited until it happened. But so I got an invite to Mar-a-Lago where the president, former President Trump, was premiering Dinesh D'Souza's 2,000 Mules. And so it was a very surreal, unbelievable experience. Conservatives, as far as the eye can see, people that everybody knows as far as the eye can see. Actually, I was hanging out with Alfie Oakes, as a matter of fact, and a lot of people there. I mean, it was who's who. It was, you name it, everybody was there. It was a special day. Mar-a-Lago is surreal. It's amazing. The president came out, and first Dinesh D'Souza came out and talked a little bit. They introduced the president. He came into the room, into the grand ballroom, and talked a little bit about, obviously, the election and the movie and what we were about to see, and then sat down, and then we had a chance to watch 2,000 Mules. Now, if you're wondering whether or not the movie is, let's just say, something that certain individuals around the country don't want you to hear or know about, let me ask these questions. Rhetorical. I mean, just think to yourself for a second. You don't even have to answer the questions. All right, and Jake, actually, you know what? I'll ask you the questions, and maybe you can answer. So here you go. 2,000 Mules talks about how, and you've got to see the movie. Go see it. It's important. It's critical that you see things like this to understand how it's possible when people say the election was. Oh, by the way, we're going to talk about stolen elections and 2,000 Mules. So I know recently we've been on Facebook, right, Jake? If you go to Drew Steele Radio, we're on Facebook. So if people want to watch there, obviously drewsteele.com is the website. And just for kicks and for fun, because we've been put into YouTube jail. How many times, Jake? How many times have we been put into YouTube jail? So, four.
I lost count. I've used both hands and feet, so I don't have anything else.
So
to count
what we
with.
do, it would be. I don't talk about the fact that we're on YouTube. Okay, we started out on YouTube a long time ago. We set up the account, and we've been taken down off of and put into YouTube jail so many times. So we don't talk about it anymore. We don't want to promote YouTube. You know, people are like, get off of YouTube. It's like, listen, I go on the YouTube because we're punking them. I want to see what they're going to do. I want to see if they're going to take us down again. I want to see basically what they're going to do next, when they're going to completely shut the account down. And listen, if they want to continue to pay me, all right, well, that's good. Well, that's a whole other thing. But anyway, trust me, there's no money. So here's the thing. I'm pretty confident that as we talk today about 2,000 Mules, election integrity, the concerns that people have and how the election was stolen, I'm looking at my watch right now. You might want to go to YouTube and enjoy it for just a couple of minutes because we're going to be down 3, 2. It's probably going to be completely gone today, just so you know. How do we know that this movie is striking a nerve with people? I'll give you a couple of hints. Number one. Oh, by the way, let me just explain. 2,000 Mules talks about paid mules, people, individuals who they have been able to track and trace through cell phone data, where Dinesh had a couple of individuals, True the Vote, were following the election integrity issues. They were able to take cell phones and pinpoint individuals on cell phones. And as everybody knows, all you need to know is if you're like, well, people aren't tracking anybody's cell phones. They're not tracking anybody on their phones. You know, really, when's the last time you started talking about something that you had absolutely no intention of buying, and then all of a sudden you notice on your phone, and next time you go onto like a web browser, all of a sudden it's like, I don't want to buy a Jaguar. I don't have any money to buy a Jaguar. Why is this coming up? Well, I did mention to my cousin that I love Jaguars, and then all of a sudden there's Jaguar ads all over the place, and you're like, how do you know? Or like you go by a certain shopping center, and all of a sudden there's ads that are being sent to you from that shopping center. How did you know? Because trust me, and I can even prove how much they're tracking us on cell phones. So they're talking about the cell phones and being able to pinpoint individuals and making their way in and out of these places, nonprofits that were gathering the ballots together, getting them to these mules, and then the mules in multiple locations around major metropolitan cities dropping these ballots, extra ballots, into the box. And so many questions that are obviously answered in this. Like, for example, answering the questions of why is it that they would walk up to these drop boxes and have gloves on at 2 o'clock in the morning, stuffing a bunch of different ballots in there? If it's legal to do and it's okay to do, and then taking the gloves off and chucking them in the trash. Like, why would you do that? Why would that be happening at certain points during the primaries and during the election, and even afterwards? In cities like Philadelphia and Atlanta and other places, all of the cities in the states, Arizona, where the election was questioned. So there's a lot in 2,000 Mules. You've got to see the movie. I encourage you to do that. We'll talk about it more later, but let me just say this. So if you're wondering if it's touched a nerve, okay. I go to Twitter yesterday because 2,000 Mules has a Twitter account. So it's like, cool, let's see what they're saying there on their Twitter account, what they're putting up there. Maybe they're putting some of the like trailers, little pieces, right, Jake? How many times have you gone to Twitter and said, all right, so somebody has an account for a movie or a person, and if they're doing a movie, or if it's an artist, right, somebody, a singer or something like that, and you want to check out maybe a clip of their new track, and maybe sometimes you would go to Twitter, right, and you would catch a little bit of a video. You know what I'm talking about, right, Jake?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I go to 2,000 Mules yesterday, and guess what? 12 hours after the 2,000 Mules account is created on Twitter, it's gone. It is gone. That is right. I go to Twitter and 2,000 Mules, the account is suspended. It's suspended 12. It's only been up for 12 hours and the 2,000 Mules account on Twitter is suspended. Hello, Elon Musk, where are you? Help us out. Explain what's going on here. So that's a little, a bit of a question. Like, why would you take this down? That's the first question. And then the second question, if you're concerned about it, certainly you want to do some fact checking and leave it to all the different publications and news organizations to do just that, right? U.S. News and World Report, usnews.com, fact check, fact focus, gaping holes in the claim of 2,000 ballot mules. A film debuting in over 270 theaters across the U.S. uses a flawed analysis of cell phone location data. So they go into their fact checking. And maybe I'll save this for later because I'm just looking at the time and I want to give it enough time because they go into President Trump praising the movie, exposing, quote, great election fraud, and how it's described. It paints an ominous picture suggesting Democrat-aligned ballot mules were supposedly paid to illegally collect and drop off ballots in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. That it says in the fact check here, it says, but that's based on faulty assumptions, anonymous accounts, and improper analysis of cell phone location data, which is not precise enough to confirm that somebody deposited a ballot into a drop box, according to experts. Well, here's the best part. The movie explains all of that. And the great part about the movie that I can't emphasize this enough. How many times have you gone to a movie where they do some kind of expose, they do some kind of study analysis of something, and you're kind of left like, I'm not sure if I walk away confidently from this movie with the answers I'm looking for? The best part about the movie and the thing that I love, and hopefully coming up very soon, we're going to speak with Dinesh D'Souza about the movie. He's going to be on with us, I believe, next week. But here's the thing. That's what they did. They had Dennis Prager, who was there in the movie, who asked all the questions that you would ask if you were going to say, well, what about this? And what about that? And how did they do this? And how did they do that? They had the answers for every single question. Everything was buttoned up. It was nice, put a bow on it because it's done. So when they say faulty assumptions, why are they faulty assumptions? The only faulty, well, there are no faulty assumptions. That's what they claim this in U.S. News, that there's faulty assumptions. No, if you watch the movie, you'll find out there is no fault in the assumptions. And there really aren't any assumptions. They're all laid out. Anonymous accounts and improper analysis of cell phone location data. So what are the anonymous accounts? There's one anonymous account because she was someone who witnessed what was happening and wanted to be anonymous because she was concerned about her life. So maybe that's the anonymous we're talking about. And then improper analysis of cell phone location data. When you hear exactly how they connected the dots, you understand how it is just buttoned up. How they got this right, because, and I'll just give you a quick example, and it's hard to explain if you haven't seen the movie, but let me just put it this way. If you are walking in the snow, imagine if you are tracking somebody on a cell phone, right? And you're walking in the snow, and imagine your footprints in the snow are the cell phone tracking data. Everybody following me, right? You're following, you're tracking, okay? You're walking through snow. If you walk up to a house and then you walk away from the house, you would have what? You would have, imagine somebody goes to the front door of a house, there's snow on the ground, and then imagine they turn around and go back and they leave the house. There's a straight line, right? That goes from the car, let's say, on the driveway to the front door and then away from the door, right? If it's something that would be randomized, like this is somebody who maybe was looking at the house, but they weren't really there for the owner of the house. They were there to possibly put in a fence. They were going to install a fence around the house, or they were going to lay sod down, or they were going to put some landscaping down. You would see what? You would see footprints from the driveway to maybe the front door, and then around the house, and then maybe in the back. And so you'd see footprints all over the place. Well, what if you track these cell phone data, these cell phone data items, and like they do in the movie, and you see a straight line? Well, what if all of the cell phone tracking doesn't go around the ballot boxes, doesn't kind of walk in the area of, but it's a straight line from the box, away from the box. That would leave you to assume that that person was deliberately going to that location and then leaving that. They didn't go to the location and then stop 2 doors down and then stop 3 doors down from there or went around the back of that. No. They went right up to that spot and away from that spot. If you follow that linear, does that make sense? Are you visualizing what I'm saying here? If you linearly, you try to do it at 6:30 in the morning. Okay. Linearly, if you draw that line, then you see exactly what we're talking about. Those are the kinds of things, those kind of details are in the movie. That's why you see 2,000 Mules suspended from Twitter. And probably, as we talk about this more this morning, the fact that you may not be watching us on YouTube for very much longer. That kind of thing, because social media is a funny thing these days. All right, so we'll talk more about that probably in the 7 o'clock hour. I'll give you more details on this fact focus and how they're clearly biased in the fact that they don't want people to know. And then the suspicious timing. Is it weird to anybody? And I'm just going to throw this out there for you to think about before we go to break. And it's this. Nothing happens in a vacuum, right? Anytime that the left in this country is planning on doing something or something is getting ready to come out, some big information about Hunter Biden, some big information about something else. Doesn't it seem curious that it's always at those times that something happens that is kind of curious timing? So is it curious timing that possibly this leak of the case from the Supreme Court about overturning Roe, is it possible that the timing of this coincided oddly with this movie that was coming out to really expose the stealing of the election of 2020? Anybody seeing it? I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying that it's curious timing, and maybe we'll talk about that more later on. All right, 239-479-5592 is the Brett AC Talk and Text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com, the website, so you can watch there, certainly for now, in the social media places in different areas like Facebook and YouTube. Maybe not much longer. All right, we'll be back live from Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Mom ain't easy, that's for sure. But somehow moms have a way of making magic happen each and every day. So this Mother's Day, show the woman in your life just how much they mean to you with a gift from Naples Soap. They have a large selection of skincare, hair care, and gift sets designed for pampering and relaxation. Shop in stores or online at naplessoap.com and ship for free with orders over $50. Your mom deserves the best. So visit Naples Soap Company today.
Ever notice Phil's house across the street is so much cooler inside?
Yeah, it's nice over there.
Yeah, but you have pretty much the same house.
Well, Phil got rid of his old air conditioner.
Whereas you...
When they built this neighborhood, we all got contractor-grade AC.
Sounds sketchy.
They basically admit no self-respecting homeowner would want it.
Dave.
Never kept us cool enough. That's contractor-grade for you.
Dave.
But the worst part is nobody knew about this contractor-grade ticking time bomb except for Phil.
Dave! So what's the best case scenario?
Best case? Okay, I make one call and get a powerful new air conditioner like Phil's.
That's best?
Well, sure, but...
That's best. Best Home Services. They have so many specialized technicians, they even have a replace that old contractor-grade AC expert.
You mean our house could be as comfortable as... you know who?
How's that sound?
GetBest.com. When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
Maybe I should call Best.
That's what Phil did.
Phil's a smart guy.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and get ready because it's time once again. This Friday, Oaks Farm Seed to Table, we do our first Friday live broadcast, and we love being out there and love seeing you there for the show, 6 to 9 a.m. They open up an hour earlier so that you can come in and enjoy some great breakfast and so much more. Maybe do some shopping while you're there as well. And you know how awesome Seed to Table is and what a great place it is to shop. We hope to see you there. Oaks Farm Seed to Table, our first Friday broadcast, 6 to 9 a.m. at the corner of Immokalee and Livingston Road in Naples. Daybreak 92.5 Fox News.
Look and feel your best with Dr. Patrick Flaherty, hosted by me, Gina Birch. Want to hear the latest from an expert? Tune in Saturday at 10 a.m. and hear all the latest innovations in non-surgical, surgical, and lifestyle ideas to help you look and feel your best. Dr. Patrick Flaherty is known for his faces, the fabulous Azul Spa, and now you get your hour with this doctor every Saturday at 10 a.m. Dr. Patrick Flaherty's show is Look and Feel Your Best, hosted by me, Gina Birch. Tune in this Saturday at 10 a.m. and hear how to look and feel your best.
92.5 Fox News. Right.
This
all
Fox
along.
Business Report is presented by the Darda Real Estate Group at dartagroup.com.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
You might want to hold off looking at your 401k. Stocks made a huge U-turn yesterday, with the Dow plunging more than 1,000 points as investors fret inflation's going to persist for some time. Any American who has a phone likely won't be surprised by this trend. Robocalls are at an all-time high. That's according to organizations that track them. The CEO of Spirit Airlines suggested yesterday that JetBlue Airways is more interested in blocking a merger of Spirit and Frontier Airlines than in buying Spirit. No immediate comment from JetBlue. And we'll find out if the job market's looking brighter when we see the April jobs report this morning. Economists expect employers added 400,000 jobs. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report, invested in you.
Economists are warning that sanctions against Russia could trigger devastating inflation, worse than the current 40-year highs. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to protect your savings right now with a gold IRA through Birch Gold, the only company I trust for gold. Just text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get a free info kit on how to protect your savings with gold. Again, text SHELTER to 989898.
The news you need, the host you trust, getting it right all day and all night. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Do you want to sell your home for the most money possible? Be sure to interview more than one agent. The home marketing process isn't the same with every realtor, and that difference could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. I'm Andrew Darda with the Darda Group. With over 50 years combined experience, we know the best formula to get the best results selling your home. Find out more and contact us. Go to dartagroup.com. That's DARDA group.com. dartagroup.com. A Compass Realty broker.
We believe in better. A better way to invest, a better way to serve you, and a better result. We can help you determine how much risk you're taking, red flags that could be potential problems for you, how much you're paying in fees or commissions, potential tax liability, or even how to address Social Security.
Tune in to WealthWorks Radio with Eric Carney every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. One of the biggest fears a homeowner has about their home is that the air conditioning system will need to be replaced. Well, folks, it's going to happen someday, so prepare yourself for that day. The good news is, Kobe Cooling has a 100% NATE certified team of mechanics that actually fix air conditioners. When you call for service, our unique team will find your issue and fix it. Your air conditioner will need to be replaced someday, but that doesn't have to be today. You can still get those giant firms with cheap service call prices and get a sales technician to sell you a new unit, or you can hire a real NATE certified mechanic and we'll fix your system and help you plan for the next air conditioner purchase. Call 239-482-1542 for a real mechanic and not a salesman in disguise. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you think of Kobe Cooling. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313.
Spend time and money on spring break and enjoying the outdoors and save on your insurance. Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. Now is the time for spring cleaning. Cleaning up your policies and finding savings where you can. If spring means a move, a new car, or new drivers hitting the road, then consider us for help reevaluating coverage and costs. At Chapman Insurance Group, we can save you money for the same or better insurance coverage. Visit CIGFlorida.com, Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach. For 20 years, I served in the United States Coast Guard, rescuing fishermen in the rough waters of the Bering Sea, chasing drug smugglers in the Caribbean, and patrolling a combat zone enforcing sanctions against Iraq. But nothing was more rewarding than my time as a JAG officer defending wounded warriors. Being the voice of our soldiers injured in the line of duty remains one of the greatest honors of my life. Now, I am proud to serve you in the Florida House. When I first ran for office 4 years ago, I told you I would defend conservative principles, expand access to trade schools, fight illegal immigration, protect the Second Amendment, and always defend our most vulnerable. And I've done exactly that. I've also led the charge to hold our school boards accountable, to fight back against woke corporations trying to force their liberal views on our conservative community, and I've never wavered in my support of the Constitution. This is Spencer Roach. I'm a conservative, a veteran, and I look forward to continuing the fight in Tallahassee. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, P.O. Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
Fox News listeners, Saturday morning is the perfect time to talk boats and water fun in Southwest Florida. This is Adam Botana again from Baywater Sousa Boat Club. Join us every Saturday morning from 7 to 8 for the Baywater Boat Club Hour. We talk boats, fishing, boating hotspots, water quality, on top of Jake the Millennial and I just having fun on the radio. And if you don't have a boat, Baywater Sousa Boat Club has got you covered. Just call me, Adam, at 239-495-0455.
Have lunch with Clay and Buck at noon, right after Glenn Beck at 9. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
All right, everybody, we are live at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples. We always love having you here. Thanks for joining us live this morning. And if you've not been here before, it is a very, very special place. Certainly the produce department by itself. If you just see the produce when you first walk in, you're like, wait a second. Oaks Farm Seed to Table, this is special. The freshest vegetables anywhere, delivering the freshest seafood and the best selection. Alfie Oaks, locally owned, Seed to Table sells also only Braveheart beef. It's the top-of-the-line beef, and a lot going on here during the week, including Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. Don't forget about the entertainment 7 nights a week, right on the stage that we're sitting on right here, and even downstairs below us. And you're just going to love make it a night out, so you can maybe do some grocery shopping. Maybe you just want to have a night out. You can even bring the kids because they had a playroom, so you can enjoy some time, you and maybe just you time, maybe you and someone else time. But it's always a great place to be. Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road right here in Naples. All right, a couple of stories that I'm checking out here. I was going to play this. I don't know if I want to play this audio or not. I was going to kind of... All right, so let me just, I thought this was funny when I heard this story, and I know it was the late night comics were talking about this. Here you go, listen. Oh, wait a minute, you can't listen because I don't have it on. All right, hold on a second. Let me hook this back up again. And then, all right, Jake, here you go. You ready? Check this out.
I heard about a family in Massachusetts who thought that they rescued a lost puppy, but it actually turned out to be a baby coyote. Oh. They knew it was a coyote when it tried to blow up the house with dynamite and run off a cliff.
Yeah. Okay, so my first reaction was, number one, Jake, do you even get the reference to the blowing up the house with dynamite? Do you get that reference at all?
Yes.
You do? Okay, so you know about the coyote.
The wild one, right?
The wily coyote was chasing who? Who was he chasing?
I definitely said wild, but yeah.
Yeah, you said wild, not wily. Okay, so and who was the coyote going after? That's what I
Elmer
thought.
Fudd.
Elmer Fudd. Yes, the coyote. Just so everybody understands, this is what I deal with every single day. Do you understand that the cultural? This is what I love about Jake the Millennial is that there's this cultural difference that you make these references, and it's like. This is not going to work. And I knew it, and I heard this today, and I thought, okay, so no, the coyote's not going after Elmer Fudd.
All right, well, let me get it. Don't tell me right after. Is it a cat? Is it a mouse?
Is it a cat?
Is it a dog?
No, it's not a cat or a mouse or a dog. Keep going.
Is it a human?
No, it's not a human being.
The Roadrunner?
It is the Roadrunner. All right, so there you go.
There we go. We're getting somewhere here.
Okay, what kind of animal is a Roadrunner?
I don't know, like a chicken or something.
A Roadrunner is a Roadrunner. It's not a chicken. Okay, but anyway, do you know why Wile E. Coyote was going after the Roadrunner? What was the problem with the Roadrunner?
He was gonna eat it. He was gonna eat it, right? Food. Coyote, food.
Actually, I don't know.
Small rodent.
I don't know. Does anybody know why? I thought it was. Is it because he was so fast, or he was just so annoying? I don't really know. That's a good question. And then the second part is, I wonder how many times that happens. Do people go out into the wild and see like coyotes and think a coyote would leave a little pup behind, and they think it's a puppy, like a dog, and next thing you know, it's like takes your arm off. I mean, I don't know what a coyote would do if you try to raise it. Domesticate. I guess you can't domesticate it, otherwise people would have coyotes. So I never heard of that, but I figured I would throw that at Jake because I'm sure Jake has hey, my cousin found a puppy once in the woods and it was a coyote story.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Do you want to expand on that a little before we move on, or do I just leave that there?
Yeah, there was they're not dogs. Okay, so they're not domesticated.
I knew
Definitely
it.
Don't let them in your
When
house.
I heard this story this morning, I just knew that you had some story that had to do with this. I just knew it. All right.
Gotta
Anyway.
be careful with them.
Yeah, I know.
And they go together in a pack. So if you see one, there's probably 6 or 7 around very close.
Yeah, listen, good message for the kids. If you find a puppy in the middle of the woods, don't take it home. And I'm talking to you, son. My son, do me a favor. My son who, I don't even want to tell the story about what he did the other day with the snake that he found. And it's see me after class. I'll explain. Jake, maybe I'll tell you the story off the air, and then you tell me if it's something I can tell on the air, because I don't even know if I want to repeat what. Just stop bringing stuff home. All right, 239-479-5592 is the Brett AC Talk and Text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com. The website, Steele has 3 E's. By the way, coming up scheduled at 8:05, Bill O'Reilly's got a brand new book out called Killing the Killers that I had a chance to read this weekend. And boy, there's a lot of reasons why you should read that book. Not the least of which is, man, when you see the connections between the war on terror, the fight against terrorists that still happens today, how well we do things militarily, that even right now as we speak, and I wasn't even prepared to mention this, but I'll mention it anyway, how when you hear more and more about the war in Ukraine and Russia, and you start to hear stories like, what was the latest story? I think there was a recent story yesterday about the fact that Ukraine took out like the most technically advanced tank that Russia has. How does that happen? How is it that you have Russia, who was supposed to just the snap of a finger, and it was supposed to be Ukraine is ours, that easily done? And then being able to take these cities and then ultimately hold them. How are you going to hold cities like Mariupol if you're showing up there and you're planning on taking over that city? You don't have enough soldiers there to do it. You have to imagine. Think about that. Think about how many soldiers it takes to take over a city in a war. Then remind yourself that once you take it, doesn't mean you can walk away from it. It's like, okay, that's ours. Everybody, come on, let's go fight for the next city. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to leave people behind to take control of that city. Do you know how many thousands of soldiers it takes to control a city after you take it? And clearly, Russia was not prepared for that. They weren't thinking about that. That's not something that they're, at this point, not doing. And yeah, I mean, you hear a lot about these. It was somewhere. All right, here it is. Right. They were talking about how the Russian army just wasn't designed for the war that they're doing right now, and Ukraine is proving it. But I bring all of this up because with all of these failures of Russia to take Ukraine quickly, and the loss of high-tech equipment like these tanks and the like, the Bill O'Reilly book, Killing the Killers, and the stories of what we did, not just after 9/11, but what we did in a lot of different circumstances, trying to get information to get people that were being held hostage, not paying off terrorists to release hostages, but having these covert operations to not only try to get information from different places in areas of Syria and Pakistan and Afghanistan and these secret missions, but to also try to rescue them. Many, 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 many successful missions that you never even heard about. And the point I'm trying to make is that we can get things done unlike any other country on the planet. There are things that we might say about the concerns we have about the military. There are things that we might say about leadership or where they're going or whether it's woke or not. The fact of the matter is, if you go in the past throughout our history, there are things that we can do overtly and covertly that other countries just can't pull off. They just can't. They don't, and we do. And so we're going to talk about some of those stories coming up at 8:05 with Bill O'Reilly on the way. All right, some other things that are going on. Hey, are we winning this war at the Supreme Court, the war of cases that are making their way to the court, as we come to find out about this recent leak of Alito's draft opinion about how the Supreme Court may be poised to overturn Roe, and that we're starting to see more and more things going the way of conservative values at the Supreme Court. We're starting to see more and more of this coming up. Or is the pendulum beginning to swing in that direction? That there are more victories than you may think, and how all of these little battles that we fight at the courts, on the court level, that we win will ultimately lead to a winning of the war, which is the culture war, one of the biggest fights that we have in this country. And also the fact that, the discussion has to be had. And I brought this up before I took the day off yesterday because, for those that don't know, I went to Mar-a-Lago. The President, Trump, inviting many people to Mar-a-Lago, and I was blessed to be one of the individuals to be there to watch the screening of 2,000 Mules, Dinesh D'Souza, and every conservative on the planet was there. The President there as well, showing up, and it was just a great event, a great evening. Mar-a-Lago is insanely beautiful and hard to describe. Once you're there, it's just it's surreal. But as we begin to have these cases pop up, the one thing that is so important is how many people just don't know what Roe is, the Roe v. Wade case. And again, if you go back to and you watch, go to drewsteele.com and you can watch, or go to my channel on Rumble and you can watch and listen to the conversation I had on Tuesday about Roe v. Wade. I had Tom Jipping on, who is a senior fellow at the Heritage Foundation, and explaining from the beginning to the end exactly what was going on with Roe v. Wade, why it was not constitutional, the case itself, and how many people don't know it. But I bring this up because that discussion has to be made. We have to have the discussion about what Roe v. Wade is and isn't. We have to have this discussion, unfortunately, and for tender years, I'm sorry that we are having these discussions lately, and I know that there are some people that, they turn the radio down, you got the kids in the car, this is not the time to have those conversations, and I completely understand that. But we do have to have the conversation about what abortion is and is not. And the fact that people have for too many years laid the groundwork for a lot of lies about Roe v. Wade and the taking away of a woman's right to choose, and it's my body, my choice. And man, we can go through a lot of my body, my choice things, especially when it comes to the government and COVID, but I digress. But the point is how important it is to have the conversation, how important it is to lay it all bare and to say no. For many, unfortunately, it is not going to be the end of abortion as we know it in this country. Now, as we know it, meaning every state is going to have a decision on what they would like to do and not like to do. Like a woman will not be able to have an abortion if she wants. No. That's not going to be taken away. There's going to be definitely medical tourism that's probably going to happen. There's probably going to be Planned Parenthood making a killing, but maybe not the right word to use. But they're going to be making a lot of money, Planned Parenthood, in funding people to leave the state of Florida, let's say, to go to the state of, name the nearest state that's going to allow it to take place. to have an abortion. It's not going to be out of your reach. They certainly will do anything and everything they can, and unfortunately, that is the ugly part of this. They will do anything and everything that they have to do to ensure that no matter where you are on the political spectrum, on the financial spectrum, no matter where you are, that if you want it, you will get it. And we will find a way to make sure it will happen for you. In certain states, it won't. But that's where the decision lies. And so, again, for the millionth time, Roe v. Wade was about a bad court decision that should have been left for a legislature to decide, which is what Chuck Schumer's talking about next week. And we're going to vote on this so we can codify this into law, which should have happened 50 years ago, but wasn't going to happen because the majority of people didn't want it then. And the amount of people that want it now, when you break it down, you're going to quickly find out that a lot of the decisions that people have made have been under the assumption that if Roe goes away, then it is completely going away and there will be no option. And that's not true. So a lot of it was based on lies. But you've got to have the conversation, and it's what is being discussed about next week and trying to codify this into law, and how be careful what you wish for, because there are people that know exactly what's in this legislation that they want to present, and they're not happy with it. Susan Collins is a Republican. Now, Susan Collins is kind of a Republican. I mean, yeah, she is. I mean, she does vote sometimes with it. Well, she's not a conservative. Let's just put it that way. You know, in the scheme of a list of people that you would like to see not in the Senate any longer, you know the list. It's Mitt Romney, right? And along with Mitt Romney, who else is there? What are the other names? Susan Collins. That's right. Susan Collins is the other name. Because, she's not exactly. Okay, so she's like, yeah, I'm not signing off on this. So already you've got a Republican who is like, that you thought might go along with this. You lost one already for sure. One that you were hoping was going to be that kind of pivot point, that person that may lean towards signing off. So why? Why would Susan Collins say that if you're going to present legislation that we're going to codify into law, Congress should do this, that abortion rights have to be codified by Congress, that we're going to have a law? Why would she say she's a no on the Democrat bill to do this? She says it's too broad, quote, doesn't protect the right of a Catholic hospital to not perform abortions. That right has been enshrined in law for a long time. She voted against a similar bill in February. The bill is going to be started next week. That's not the only thing that's in there, everybody. I'm going to talk about some of what's in there that you may or may not have questions about. And you don't even have to be a conservative. You could be somebody who maybe is thinking, in a limited way, I can understand where people stand on this issue. But when you have this codified into law Democrat bill that talks about the right of abortion through 9 months of pregnancy in all 50 states, is that what you want to sign up for? Striking down almost all state laws on abortion, including parental consent laws? 70% of Americans want that. You're going to take that out. You sure you want to do this? I could go on. The gutting of conscious and religious liberty exceptions, which Susan Collins brought up. This is the kind of thing where when somebody wants to talk to a Democrat, and listen, we try to have conversation with Democrats. We try to have reasonable conversation with Democrats about big issues like this. And the problem becomes that it is go big or go home. For Democrats, they're going to go as big as they have to go. And if you don't sign off on it, they're not going to necessarily pare it down. They might nibble at some areas here and there. But they always want to go big, and they always demand that they get what they want. And if they don't, they're going to keep fighting until they get the big. And that's the thing that Republicans have to push back on, is that just because you think you've won the day, you may have won the fight, but you didn't win the war. And man, did they go big on this thing. And so there are plenty of Republicans and even Democrats that are like, yeah, I'm not going to do this. Look, the Democrats don't want to solve this issue, because they solve this issue, then the issue goes away. They don't want to codify this into law. They want this to be a wedge issue because they want this to be on the ballot in November. Take a second and think about that. If they solve this by law, if this thing were to be codified into law next week, they know they're not going to pass this. If they codify it into law next week, what happens, everybody? What's the obvious thing that happens? It's not an issue. If it's not an issue, you can't go stomping your feet and saying you got to go in November and vote against the. Well, it's not an issue anymore. It's gone. You've solved the problem, right? So we're exactly. So they're not going to solve the problem, and they never wanted to solve the problem. All right, we'll talk about that more. I hope that made sense. Did that make sense to everybody? Do you see where I'm going? Okay, thumbs up. Okay, do you all have a thumb? Okay, thumbs up. All right, we are live at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road. We always appreciate you stopping by and being here with us. 8:05, Bill O'Reilly will be joining us, scheduled to be there. And on the way, more on this and other issues of the day. With Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
The right place for local talk. Drew now, Trey for the drive at 5. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
All my friends are jealous of LEQ.
Hi, I'm LEQ.
They say it's like you have a sidekick, always checking in, connecting you to family, suggesting activities.
Did you sleep better last night?
Yeah, that breathing exercise before bed helped. See what I mean? She helps me stay healthy and independent. Plus, she's a hoot.
What makes a banana split?
I just tell my friends, go order your own.
Call 844-944-ELLI or visit ELLIQ.com to learn more.
Life for you and your family. And you want to find somebody that's going to promote patient interaction and advocacy above all else. That's why I love Dr. Svetlana Kogan. She's my doctor, and I'm just telling you, it's that personal interaction, that one-on-one, the time that she spends, the huge amount of time going into detail. It's like nothing I've ever seen. And it's that connection that means so much to me. She's got a calming demeanor that'll help you if you've got anxiety about maybe issues that are going on in your life, but you need somebody in your life that you can trust, a physician that will listen. And here's the best part. She'll meet with you face to face anytime you need her, no matter where you are. You've got direct contact and complete access to Dr. Kogan. And that's why I love Dr. Svetlana Kogan. Find out more about her practice on 5th Avenue South by going to customlongevity.com. That's customlongevity.com.
Momming ain't easy, that's for sure. But somehow moms have a way of making magic happen each and every day. So this Mother's Day, show the woman in your life just how much they mean to you with a gift from Naples Soap. They have a large selection of skincare, hair care, and gift sets designed for pampering and relaxation. Shop in stores or online at naplessoap.com and ship for free with orders over $50. Your mom deserves the best, so visit Naples Soap Company today.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and get ready because it's time once again. This Friday, Oaks Farm Seed to Table. We do our first Friday live broadcast, and we love being out there and love seeing you there for the show, 6 to 9 a.m. They open up an hour earlier so that you can come in and enjoy some great breakfast and so much more. Maybe do some shopping while you're there as well. And you know how awesome Seed to Table is and what a great place it is to shop. We hope to see you there. Oaks Farm Seed to Table, our first Friday broadcast, 6 to 9 a.m. at the corner of Immokalee and Livingston Road in Naples. Daybreak 92.5 Fox News.
Do you have an old sedan? Sutherland buys it. How about a minivan? Sutherland buys it. A souped-up truck? Sutherland buys it. No matter what, Sutherland buys it. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral will buy your car right now. Click SutherlandBuysIt.com and get $8,000 more than your trade is worth. $8,000 more. Then come shop the #1 certified dealer. Get certified Ultima, certified Rogue, certified Titans. Pay thousands less than new. Get a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, plus free gas for the rest of the summer. And remember, click SutherlandBuysIt.com for $8,000 more than book value for your trade, no matter what it is or where you bought it, through Monday only. Hurry to Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore, online at FLNissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details. You'd think an Army veteran with a military career, including multiple combat deployments throughout the Middle East, would be a great American. And you'd be right. But Joe Vanderbosch also happens to be a great dentist. An Army veteran of 8 years, Dr. Joe now makes his home in Southwest Florida, where his wife Sarah grew up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch, Freedom Dental on Metro Parkway in Fort Myers. In the Army, I received extra training in order to provide dental care in virtually any condition. That's why I can manage many dental treatments without the need to refer to a specialist. I served my country proudly for 8 years. Now I want to serve you and your dental needs. Special discounts for former and active military without dental insurance.
Dr. Vanderbosch provides emergency care and is now accepting new patients for cleaning, extractions, crowns, implants, and more. Find them online at freedomdentalfortmyers.com. That's freedomdentalfortmyers.com. Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch. Go to freedomdentalfortmyers.com.
Did you know that King Roofing has expert dedicated repair crews to troubleshoot roof problems? They can fix everything from tree damage to broken tiles and, of course, roof leaks. Do you have a leak or water stains or tile damage? Call King Roofing, a roofing company with the right team to repair it. King Roofing, experienced in roof repair for over 40 years.
License number CCC 057279.
Every castle deserves a king.
From Drew to Trey and all through the day, we get it right from morning till night. Drew Steele gets you up on the right side of the bed with live and local talk every morning starting at 6. Then it's Glenn Beck at 9, Clay Travis and Buck Sexton at noon, Sean Hannity at 3, and Trey Radel with The Drive at 5. From Drew to Trey and all through the day, we get it right from morning till night. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. You can't go wrong when you're getting it right. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right all along.
Another COVID surge. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The CDC thinks so. The agency projecting a big uptick in COVID-related hospitalizations and deaths over the next 4 weeks, as at least 3 different Omicron subvariants spread quickly across the country. And it's already starting. Hospital admissions jumping 20% nationwide over the past week, with the Northeast and Midwest hit particularly hard. Fox's Jonathan Seri. The FDA doesn't want most Americans to get the Johnson & Johnson jab anymore.
The FDA says the J&J vaccine brings a risk of blood clots to those who receive it, even though the occurrence of clots is said to be rare.
Fox's Gernal Scott. The FDA is restricting the shot now to those who can't get the Moderna or Pfizer COVID vaccines, or specifically asked just for the J&J version. Conservative Supreme Court justices aren't just facing protests outside the court where fencing's been put up. Could be outside their homes next week over the leaked draft opinion showing them ready to overturn the ruling that legalized abortion. Fox's Peter Doocy asked White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki,
do you think the progressive activists that are now planning protests outside some of the justices' houses are extreme?
Peaceful protest? No, peaceful protest is not extreme.
Republicans say it's going too far, trying to intimidate justices, risking violence. There is an update in the case of the man accused of attacking comedian Dave Chappelle on stage at the Hollywood Bowl earlier this week. Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer.
LA District Attorney George Gascon refused to charge the 23-year-old suspect with a felony for the attack, but instead sent the case to the city attorney, recommending misdemeanor charges.
The LA City Attorney will prosecute Isaiah Lee on those charges, which will include battery and possession of a weapon with intent to assault. Now, Dave Chappelle was not hurt, but Lee was after being tackled by security and others. America's listening to Fox News.
This Fox News update is presented by Freedom Dental of Fort Myers. Online at freedomdentalftmyers.com.
Wink News, traffic.
A few crashes I'm tracking this morning. One in Fort Myers on Cleveland Avenue and Crawford Street. Doesn't appear to be affecting traffic yet. No word on any injuries, but something to keep in mind as 41 can get very congested in this area this time of day. Also a crash out on Alligator Alley, I-75 in the northbound as you head towards Collier County, mile marker 91. Doesn't appear to be causing any slowdowns, but just use caution if you are passing by. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Taylor Wirtz, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
We're heading into a hot one for your Thursday. Temperatures climb to near 93 degrees, with some areas hitting into the middle 90s for inland zones. We're dry throughout this morning, but we'll likely see some areas of rain and thunderstorms develop by this afternoon, particularly for areas east of the I-75 corridor, though overall coverage today will be lower than what we had yesterday. Lower rain chances continue through your Friday. Look for a low near 73 degrees, waking up tomorrow. A dry start to your Friday morning, 92 degrees for tomorrow afternoon, with just a few spotty showers and storms, mainly focused inland yet again. The upcoming weekend featuring some slightly higher chances for rain and thunderstorms, with some breezy weather returning for Saturday and Sunday, with highs set to remain in the lower 90s. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Find conservative sanity and Sean Hannity at rightallalong.net. 92.5 Fox News is streaming live around the clock.
Hi, this is Scott Riley, owner of Mortgage Warehouse. If you're a homeowner or looking to buy a home in Southwest Florida, I want to say congratulations. We live in one of the most desirable areas to own a home. Chances are you've worked hard and you've made some smart decisions with your money. In today's market, it's more important than ever to have a true mortgage professional in your corner, not only to secure a great home loan, but also to provide certainty to all parties involved so that your offer is accepted when you find that perfect home. My team has closed over $1 billion in mortgage loan volume, and our mission is to provide hope and guidance to every client we partner with. I hope this message is the beginning of a relationship with you. We will guide you through the process that is consistently proven to give you an advantage when competing with multiple offers. To reach my office, call 313-5000. That's 313-5000, online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender. MortgageWarehouse.com. That's MortgageWarehouse.com.
Hello, I'm Dave Harmer of First Class Air Conditioning, serving all of Southwest Florida since 1977. In a service industry like ours, customer satisfaction means everything. We post our customer service reviews upfront at firstclassairconditioning.com. Our work and your satisfaction is always guaranteed. Call 239-574-2500.
First Class Air Conditioning. Our name says it all.
Mr. World here, playing a little beach volleyball, diving in the sand, digging some shots, trying to look cool. I'm also digging these sunglasses from Eyeglass World. They're super stylish and super affordable. So not only do I look cool, but I feel cool. Even with all this sand in my shorts.
Find designer sunglasses for hundreds less at Eyeglass World, the world's best way to buy glasses. Visit eyeglassworld.com to browse styles and for store locations.
Hey guys, it's Robbie Raw. You've heard how much I love my art supports from the Good Feet store. Now I want you to hear from someone else.
Hi, I'm Dr. Julie Caton. I decided to get my own art supports, and I absolutely love them.
Visit the Good Feet store and take back your life.
Stop by Family Dollar and find everything you need to celebrate Mom. Make her feel extra special with our selection of balloons, cards, sweets, decorations, and scented candles. And be sure to shop our apparel and accessories aisles to complete the perfect gift. There are so many ways to say I love you, all at great value in one convenient store. There's more love for Mom on her day, only at Family Dollar.
Hello, folks. This is Representative Bob Rommel with another interesting Florida fact. Millions of Florida citizens with a social media account got a huge shock this week. Joe Biden launched a disinformation management board. Now the federal government began monitoring the internet, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts. They will report anything that is disinformation in their opinion, and will try to have it shut down. This crosses the line. It puts us on the same level as China or Iran and spits in the face of our founding fathers. A few years ago, I sponsored a campus free speech bill because we believe in our constitutional right to say or believe what we want. We must take back the House and the Senate in November, and Joe Biden should be impeached. But in the meantime, Florida remains free with no income tax and free speech. Let's keep it that way. Paid by me, Bob Rommel, Republican for State Representative.
Spend time and money on spring break and enjoying the outdoors and save on your insurance. Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. Now is the time for spring cleaning. Cleaning up your policies and finding savings where you can. If spring means a move, a new car, or new drivers hitting the road, then consider us for help reevaluating coverage and costs. At Chapman Insurance Group, we can save you money for the same or better insurance coverage. Visit CIGFlorida.com, Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do. And
thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping keep the constitutional republic. I want to thank you for your support for veterans in the military. Educating us. Standing up for conservatism. Giving us the truth.
Daybreak with Drew Steele.
We are live. It is our first Friday of the month at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road right here in beautiful Naples. We are always just happy and humbled to be able to do a live show here each and every first Friday at Seed to Table. You know how amazing it is if you are a foodie, if you're somebody who is looking for the best. Well, it's right here at Seed to Table. It's the place to be. 9 special food outlets all over the store. The latest, by the way, brand new, is the new Stir Fry Station, and it is awesome. I know that from experience. Great place to shop with the kids, too. My son loves being here. It's like, and it's, by the way, if you're feeling, or you say to yourself, well, it's kind of far from where I am, it's worth the drive. Trust me, I'm telling you, it's worth the drive. Have a date night. They got live entertainment 7 nights a week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. They got live bands. It's great here. So maybe you want to make a date night. You can say, well, I want to do something with the kids. Well, you don't have to leave them necessarily with a babysitter if you don't want to. They got a playroom right here, so you can do some me time right here. You can have the kids hanging out as well. And, of course, the freshest seafood, best selection. There's just so much here at Oaks Farm Seed the Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road. We would love to for you to grab breakfast, grab a coffee, and hang out with us this morning. Coming up at 8:05, scheduled to be on with us, a phone call from Bill O'Reilly, Killing the Killers. Read the book this weekend, and we'll get into some details about that book coming up in just a bit. Also, the latest, Ron DeSantis. Here we go. More Ron DeSantis Florida controversy. Everybody's just gunning for the governor. For what reason? Well, success. That's what happens. It is amazing what a successful governor will do, not only for the state, but for the left in this country. It is sending them over the edge. They just don't know what to do, so they're trying to find any little thing that they possibly can. We'll tell you about the latest little possible thing coming up in just a bit. I did mention earlier that I was going to talk about this quickly. Didn't get a chance to do the show yesterday because Wednesday night I was blessed to get an invite to go to Mar-a-Lago, where the president was private screening of 2,000 Mules, and I was there at Mar-a-Lago. It's very surreal to be there. It's just an incredibly beautiful place, and every conservative on the planet was there. It was an amazing time. The movie I would encourage you to see as soon as you possibly can. And we're going to do everything we can to make sure that you get a chance to see it and talk about it, because it's important. How do I know how important it is? I talked about it earlier because Twitter suspended the account of 2,000 Mules. Why would they do that? That seems really strange. Isn't it weird that this whole issue of the release of Alito's draft on overturning Roe, something that they were talking about in February, just happened to drop this week, the week before this movie was coming out. One of the most important movies if you're concerned about election integrity and how in the world they could have stolen an election. That's it. We're off of YouTube, Jake. That's it. No more YouTube. No more Facebook. By the way, you can go there. Drew Steele Radio on Facebook. I think we're still there. I would be curious to see if I know we stream on YouTube. We don't talk about it, but I doubt we're there right now because we're talking about election integrity. There's our third strike. You're out. And also at drewsteele.com, you'll always be able to watch there because we're on Rumble. By the way, Rumble was down for a little while as well, as they were starting to talk more and more about 2,000 Mules. This seems really curious that there would be so many people that might have a problem with a movie that could actually explain, hey, you've been talking about election integrity and there's concerns about the 2020 election and how they possibly could have stolen the election and how that would have worked. Hey, here's a movie to explain every detail and connect all the dots on how that would work. Oh, we don't want to hear that. We got to shut that down. That's really strange that you would want to do that. You would imagine you'd want to do the opposite and maybe investigate and find out more about it. But no, we don't. We don't want to do that. Well, we do, but others, for some reason, don't want to have anything to do with that. So I had a chance to watch the movie. It was amazing. I kind of teased a little earlier about U.S. News doing their own fact focus. They don't call it a fact check now. They call it a fact focus. I wonder why they do that. Because they really don't want to check, because everybody knows when somebody says we're going to do a fact check, it's like, yeah, we know about your check. And so now it's a focus, gaping holes in the claim of 2,000 ballot mules. And they go on to talk about the former president and exposing this and this ominous ominous picture suggesting that Democrat-aligned ballot mules were supposedly paid to illegally collect and drop off ballots in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. By the way, some of these states still have a lot of questions, and there are some people in the states that legally have gone and said we want to release some information where there are still cases pending here, but we don't want to talk about that kind of stuff because, no, we got to move on, everybody. We got to move on. What do you think's going to happen? We're going to discover this, and all of a sudden that Donald Trump is going to be brought back in as president? No. What we'd like to do is expose it so that it never happens again. See, is that okay? Can you applaud that? We want to expose it so that we don't. That's all right. You can applaud that. And let me make a mention of something else in the movie by Dinesh D'Souza, because this is important, and True the Vote, and they did an awesome job with this. They spent time, and I love this, they knew what was going to happen, what kind of talk there was going to be. By the way, how many of you have seen the movie 2,000 Mules? Have you had a chance to see it? No, all right, nobody. Okay, it's coming. Here's the thing. They start the movie talking about the concerns about the 2020 election and these mules that were paid to go and drop ballots, extra ballots into the boxes. But they also spent the very beginning of the movie talking about a Republican who did this in North Carolina, who was humiliated and embarrassed and went through the steps of how they did it, just to say, look, this isn't a Republican or Democrat issue, everybody. We are just as quick to call out the Republicans if they do it as the Democrats who do it. That's an important thing. So they did that right out of the gate to let you know that it did happen in one place in North Carolina. He was humiliated. They found out what this person was doing in the same way, the same kind of ballot harvesting and gathering that they did on a national level. The difference was this Republican did it on a local level in a local race in North Carolina, and then they made the case for the national issue of this election fraud, or that was going on, and made the provable point. That is so important to make that case, and they said it on multiple occasions, that it doesn't matter if it's a Republican or a Democrat, everybody. I would be all over a person, this country, if they were doing the same thing on the Republican side, and every single one of you in this building would be the same way. There's no doubt about it. You don't want that either. Man, I got to make that point clear. Nobody wants that. We all want to make sure that election integrity is secure in this country because we don't have one if we have issues on either side. So we'll call them out. But here you have U.S. News saying, oh, no, we've got a closer look at the facts. So one of the claims is that at least 2,000 mules were paid to illegally collect ballots and deliver them to drop boxes in key swing states ahead of the 2020 presidential election. Now, here's their facts. True the Vote didn't prove this. Yeah, they actually did, if you watch the movie. Now, they said that the finding is based on false assumptions about the precision of cell phone tracking data and the reasons that someone might drop off multiple ballots. Okay, so number one, they're saying that the precision of cell phone tracking data. How many people have been confused and otherwise scratching their head because of certain things that have popped up on their cell phones that seem to be things that are like, hey, how did you know this? How did you know where I was? Why is it that when I show up here at Seed to Table, why is it that my phone, what does your phone do? Your phone says, hey, you're parked in a spot right here at this location, and it'll only take you 25 minutes to get home. Why does your phone do that if it's not tracking you? Because it is tracking you, and it's pretty precise, and they know it. But they're saying it's a false assumption. They didn't say it's a fact that they're claiming. It's an assumption. No, it's not an assumption. Everybody knows what's going on with their phones. And then the reason that somebody might drop off multiple ballots. The reason why they would drop off multiple ballots is because they're getting paid to do it, and they prove this. They're talking about ballot harvesting and dropping off completed ballots for people besides themselves. The practice is legal in several states, but largely illegal in the states True the Vote focused on, with some exceptions for family, household members, and people with disabilities. See, here's what they tried to do and stretch the truth. Yes, you can take a ballot for somebody that's in your house that may not be able to make it, But you don't take multiple. I mean, in the middle of the night, at 2 o'clock in the morning, and have stacks of ballots that you stuff into a box. And oh, by the way, that same cell phone going to that same location multiple times. Why would you do that? Do you have multiple family members? Is this what you're doing? You're going around. I mean, how many people? Hundreds, thousands of people? This is like a job that they have to go around to family members in the metro Atlanta area or Philadelphia or Milwaukee. Is this? Of course it's not. And they lay it out. They're trying to make it seem as if this is some kind of conspiracy theory, but they know it. Twitter knows it. Other social media places know it, that they have called them out, that they have the evidence now. It is clear that they wouldn't make a movie out about this, and Dinesh would not do this unless they had the proof. And I think it was last night, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can find this audio, and I will. Last night, that the discussion was, here it is. Okay, Catherine Engelbrecht was there yesterday at Mar-a-Lago. She's the president and CEO of True the Vote, as they were talking about this on Tucker's show last night, and this is what they talked about with regard to the abuse of the drop boxes and the data.
Sure. Well, I mean, you laid it out. There was so much inconsistency in 2020, and we saw it coming in, checks and balances being removed left and right. You couldn't help but wonder why. And then when you had this infusion of private money that put these drop boxes in place that were largely unregulated, that's just a recipe for fraud. You have inaccurate voter rolls catalyzed by this crush of mail-in ballots being deposited in drop boxes that are not being monitored. So what we thought was, what is a way that we can test a theory? Is there abuse or not? And we invested in a tremendous amount, 10 trillion cell phone pings, geospatial data, that allowed us to monitor the device movements around drop boxes.
Now let me just stop. So what they did was they purchased $10 trillion of 10 trillion data points of cell phones and locations. Remember what she just said also. A lot of these boxes were not like boxes of the state of Georgia that were there. The state put them there. They were third-party boxes that were put in. Hello? Anybody see a problem with it? You have a third party that's saying, yeah, we're going to make sure that there's a box there, so just to make it easier for the state. Yeah, nothing to see here. Everything is fine. So they got a hold of these trillion data points, and they put all of it together and were able to establish certain cell phones and the directions that they were going.
To develop patterns of life to determine whether or not unique devices were going repeatedly to drop boxes. Over time, that became a pattern that included not just drop boxes, but also far-left organizations. And we noticed a pattern consistent with the nexus between both the organizations and the drop boxes. So over time, when we did this now in 5 states and 5 jurisdictions, as I sit here tonight, I can tell you there was rampant abuse of those drop boxes, and the data that we have is immutable and proves it, now buttressed increasingly by video.
Yeah, and by the way, the video that they have was the state's video. They asked for the information. Can we see the video in certain areas, certain states? Sure. And the state gave them the video, surveillance video, so they have the state's video. It's not like they made this video up or they put their own cameras in. It's the state's video. Now, in some jurisdictions, in some areas, and I think Arizona was one of them, it just so happens that the cameras were not turned on. I know, it seems so strange. We don't have the cameras working. I don't know why. It just happens at the time that we need it, and it just didn't work. But nothing to see here. Everything is fine. Again, if you're wondering about, well, she went and she bought trillions of data points. Who would do that? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the CDC, when we had that story just the other day about the CDC who is tracking you as well. Remember, the CDC spied on Americans by purchasing location data for tens of millions of phones. Hey, that seems like a strange story. Can I say this again? Vice, not exactly a right-leaning website, Vice published on Tuesday that the Centers for Disease Control bought cell phone data. See how common that is. The CDC does it. Tens of millions of phones and data from these phones owned by Americans to track compliance with COVID lockdown orders and vaccination efforts. The CDC does it. That's cool. That's good because they're just checking to make sure you've been COVID compliant. And it seems like that tracking data works pretty darn well because if the federal government, and some bureaucracies like the CDC are buying it, it must be pretty good stuff. But when True the Vote does it, no, those data, you got to be kidding me. Those data, no, that can't be trusted. You never know where that stuff is coming from or where it's going or how dare you do it. Really? Well, the CDC seems to think it's pretty good because they were kind of watching stuff that were. So anyway, so we got that problem as well. So these are the kind of things that we worry about. Look, it is safe to say that the 2,000 Mules movie is something that you need to see. It is safe to say that there is controversy in the information that comes out in this movie, mostly because it does prove a lot of what people have been saying about the election integrity and how the election was rigged. How dare you say that? Well, there are questions here. And then it does call attention to the fact that you want somebody, anybody, to take this information and run with it at a state or national level. This is something that you should take the information, you run with it, and then you prove it to be false because you ran with the information that was given to authorities and you did either some journalism or some investigation to kind of prove this, unless you're worried that it's provable that something did go on, and in which case it begs the question, and this is something that's an ugly question and an ugly point that people have brought up, and it's this. If you've got millions of people that are entering this country illegally, if you've got 20,000 plus people entering this country every week, every day, every month, and they're coming across our borders in numbers like we have never seen, hundreds of thousands in just 1 month, major metropolitan city movement of people into this country. And let's just say that there are some that are looking and saying, well, those are all voters that somebody would like to see voting Democrat. And then the Democrats are like, really? Do you really think that that's going to happen? How would that even be possible? Well, what if it's really not about Democrats and D votes after a name? But what if, because it worked once before, I'm just throwing this out there because I had this conversation yesterday. What if you had some people who maybe didn't know a lot about the laws of the country? Maybe they needed a couple of extra bucks, and maybe the only thing they needed to do was take this stack and take it to that box and drop it off. And let's just say there's millions of them who would just like a couple of extra bucks because they don't know necessarily better. Do you see where I'm going with this? Does that make sense? I don't like to say it that way, but again, it's the question that has to be answered. Ballot box should be gone. The issue of, hey, we need to have early voting. 1 day. You got 1 day to vote. If you can't show up on that 1 day that everybody knows about, then you got a problem. And we got big problems if we can't find one single day to vote. 1 day, you show up and you vote. The early voting thing, for as convenient as it is, I'm sorry, you can't have nice things because there are certain people that ruin your nice things. Does that make sense? Maybe, I don't know, people maybe don't want to applaud that, but I just believe 1 day, election day, you show up. You make accommodations for the people who can't show up. You make accommodations for the people who can't show up. But don't tell me that 1 day we can't have the 1 day and just do it in the 1 day, because there are people that will take advantage of the, hey, early, hey, how about a box? Hey, how about we put the box right in front of your house? How about a car comes through and you just chuck things into the car and then we'll take it for you? No. See? Because we can't have nice things because liberals ruin it. I said it. Okay. All right, we are live at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road right here in beautiful Naples. More coming up, 8:05. Bill O'Reilly will be joining us. Looking forward to it. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
When listening to the radio in your car, remember to always drive on the right side of the road. Keep it here on 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Let's hear from Dr. Johnston at 596-BACK.
People who suffer with back or neck problems, whether that's pain, numbness, or weakness, deal with something that can be frustrating. Pain wears us down. It can affect our relationships with family and friends. It's not fun to be around someone who's always complaining about their backs. Don't resign yourself to having to live with pain. In my office, Johnston Spinal Care, I successfully treat the worst of the worst, those who get injections, nerve-burning procedures, or even surgery. And now they're back, golfing and living life. If there's a treatment that is extremely effective for sciatica, stenosis, scoliosis, or neuropathy, wouldn't you want to see if it can help you? Non-surgical spinal decompression is now in Southwest Florida. Safe and painless, more than just a temporary fix, long-lasting relief that can finally heal the condition, regardless of age. Take the time right now to call my Medicare-friendly office for a no-charge telephone consultation about spinal decompression. Johnston Spinal Care, 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Hi, my name is Jay, president of Big Island Builders. We live in a day and age where it seems like no one wants to take responsibility for their actions, especially in the construction industry. If an issue comes up in the building process, it always seems to be someone else's fault. Well, you won't hear that from us. We build a top-quality custom home, and we do it for a fair price. 239-262-6867.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
As America's largest injury firm, we have advantages few others do. Our results and reputation are well known to the other side, and we have a track record of going toe-to-toe with them and winning big. But what does that mean for you? What does that mean for your case? I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. One of the things we're most proud about is that we set up our firm so that your case gets lots of attention from a lot of people. Our technology and army of lawyers give us insight and oversight into every detail and every moment of your case. Paralegals, legal assistants, investigators, buildings with boxes of evidence. Every resource carefully designed to get you the most possible. And at Morgan & Morgan, we even have a dedicated team to make sure that your calls are returned that very same day. Injured, dial pound law. That's pound 529. All law firms are not the same. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey guys, it's health and fitness expert Robbie Raw. You've heard how much I love my art supports from the Good Feet store. Now I want you to hear from someone else who's taken my advice.
Hi, I'm Dr. Julie Caton. I have always enjoyed walking, but have had severe pain in my leg and ankle. I heard about the Good Feet store from Robbie and decided to get my own arch supports. I was pleasantly surprised to discover their 3-step support system, which fits in all of my different shoes. I absolutely love them. And now I'm back to enjoying my nature walks, my dog walks, and any form of exercise. I thank Robbie for her advice and the Good Feet store for giving me my active life back.
Friends, if you have knee, hip, or back pain, don't wait. Visit the Good Feet store and take back your life. You know, what you do today will affect the quality of your life later. And nothing changes if nothing changes. Decide today to live your best life. You are worth it, and that's the raw truth.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Ceiling fans are a great way for you and your family to keep cool, but sometimes they just don't work right. Well, don't get overheated. Call the pros. Trust the Mr. Sparky team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. Call now for $77 off any repair.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News, traffic.
Few crashes I'm tracking this morning. One in Fort Myers on Cleveland Avenue and Crawford Street. Doesn't appear to be affecting traffic yet. No word on any injuries, but something to keep in mind as 41 can get very congested in this area this time of day.
Also a crash out on Alligator Alley, I-75 in the northbound as you head towards Collier County, mile marker 91. Doesn't appear to be causing any slowdowns, but just use caution if you are passing by. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Taylor Wertz, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
High temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s this afternoon under mostly sunny skies. Any spot showers that form today will likely remain inland and east of I-75, away from our beaches for the most part. We're going to stick with dry conditions for today before scattered showers and thunderstorms come back into the forecast for tomorrow. Some of them could be on the stronger side, packing gusty winds from time to time and even some small hail. Eventually, we'll be drying things out, though, for your Mother's Day plans if they're in the evening and afternoon. Mother's Day morning might have a stray shower or two in the region before we finally clear out all of those rain chances by Monday of next week and keep it nice and dry through Hump Day. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Nash Rowe.
Whether you're commuting to the office or driving to the beach, always stay to the right with 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Charlie Dombeck here from Key City Capital. As a 30-year CPA, I have found that there are two factors that determine how much and how fast you accumulate wealth: the amount you pay in income taxes and how well your investments perform. Today, our financial markets under extreme pressure from unrelenting inflation that is at a 40-year high. More aggressive planned interest rate increases will further devalue equities and lessen monthly investment income. Now is the time to protect your gains from the last market cycle. Key City Capital is a leading provider of workforce rental real estate and asset-backed lending investments focusing on landlord-friendly states located in Sunbelt states. To learn more about the Key City value proposition, we are hosting a complimentary dinner and drinks presentation at the Tiburon Country Club at 6 p.m. on April 28th. To register for the dinner or to schedule a complimentary consultation, visit kcap925.com. That's kcap925.com, or call 239-330-2080, 239-330-2080.
Hi, this is Randy Stevens, STEPHENS. You can find me at randystevens.net. Plumbing nerds, we're just smart enough, you've heard. Give us a call, we'll fix you up. Anytime, day or night, and if your plumbers just ain't right, give us a call, we'll fix you up. And if your drains ain't clean, if your toilets are acting weird, you gotta give us a call, 'cause we'll fix you up.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it. Guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at gooddealsappliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Do you have an old sedan? Sutherland buys it. How about a minivan? Sutherland buys it. A souped-up truck? Sutherland buys it. No matter what, Sutherland buys it. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral will buy your car right now. Click SutherlandBuysIt.com and get $8,000 more than your trade is worth. $8,000 more. Then come shop the #1 certified dealer. Get certified Ultima, certified Rogue, certified Titans. Pay thousands less than new. Get a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, plus free gas for the rest of the summer. And remember, click SutherlandBuysIt.com for $8,000 more than book value for your trade, no matter what it is or where you bought it. Through Monday only. Hurry to Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore, online at flnissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
Stay right here, because after Drew, it's Glenn Beck, 9 to noon. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
All right, we are live at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples. It's our first Friday of the month. We thank everybody for stopping by, grabbing breakfast and some coffee. And listen, this is the place to be. Everybody knows it. If you're hungry, 9 special food outlets all over the store. They are amazing, every single one of them. And the latest addition, just in case you're wondering, is the new stir-fry station, which is fantastic. You got a great place to shop here. The kids are going to love it. They got a playroom, so you can drop them off there while you have maybe a date night, a shop night, whatever you want to do. Live bands on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 7 nights a week there's entertainment here. And you got, of course, the produce. The produce is absolutely amazing. There is no doubt about it that the produce department here has the freshest vegetables you're going to find any place in Southwest Florida. The freshest seafood, the best selection, locally owned by our good friend Alfie Oakes. Seed to Table sells only Braveheart beef, so you want to grab that top of the line. And everybody's talking. Hey, listen, even Tucker Carlson the other day was talking about Seed to Table. It's a big deal. Located right here at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in North Naples. Check it out for yourself. All right, let's skim over some headlines and see what's going on. Oh, there's some Hunter Biden news. I know, nothing's going on with Hunter. Everything is fine. He's one of the most... well, there's Hunter Biden news out there. I was going to say something that maybe the president has said about Hunter, and never mind. So what's some of the Hunter Biden news? Well, let's look at this. So the head of Media Matters decided to go on to C-SPAN. His name is Angelo Carusone. He's the Media Matters for America president and CEO. Now, if you know anything about Media Matters, they're not exactly conservative. Let's just put it this way. If Media Matters, if the left were to come together with Media Matters, it would be like left off the cliff. Like it's so far left that it's I don't know how much far left. Ultra Uber far left. Okay, so the head of Media Matters is asked a question, and I want you to hear this. It has to do with Hunter and the Hunter artwork. Remember the artwork he was getting what was it, $500,000 or something, $500,000 he was getting for these paintings, right? And people are like, who's buying these paintings? Aren't there some concerns about it? So here's what he says here.
I'd like to ask your guest about what's going on with the Hunter Biden thing. The media absolutely hid that. They said it was all disinformation. Anybody, if you're talking about reporters reporting, well, you could have investigated that. And the fact that the president's son is selling paintings for $500,000, he has no expertise. It's selling for more than a Monet. There's no investigation about, well, who's paying for that? And what are they paying for? Are they paying for that painting, or are they paying for influence with the President of the United States?
Got your point, Betty. Okay.
Okay, so you ready for this? So she's like, listen, what happened to Hunter? Your Media Matters, right? Media Matters. And I'm sure that if it matters to the media, then it matters to you because it's in your name, Media Matters. So you might want to investigate this. And what about the paintings, too? Like, who's buying this stuff more than a Monet? I mean, what's your... So here's the head of Media Matters and his answer.
Okay, so let's start with this. I'll take the second one. There are two different things happening at the same time. Yeah, I'm okay with investigating that. That's what journalism does. Yeah. Boy, I hope there's not wrongdoing. It doesn't seem like there is. But yeah, that's what journalism should do. You should ask those questions. Those are reasonable things to ask. There's no reasonable suspicion behind it or any evidence to back that up.
So get this right. So Media Matters. Who listen? It matters, and it matters for us. It's Media Matters. It's in our name, and we're investigating this stuff. If it's something to investigate, but there's no reasonable suspicion behind it. There's no reasonable suspicion. No, nothing's out there. We've completely exhausted every place that we can go, and listen, we don't see anything wrong. Okay, and then you wonder why the people that ask us, that beg us, demand from us that we have their attention because they're the arbiters of all things true. We're like, we don't believe you. I don't know why that happens. So what else with Hunter? Oh, here's something from last night in Tucker Carlson's program. You realize that the repairman, the laptop repairman, remember the one that had the Hunter Biden laptop? He blew the whistle on the computer. He's suing news organizations. He's suing like CBS and ABC and CNN, and he's just going to sue everybody because of all this, all the things that they've been saying about him. And good for him.
Well, initially, people just assumed that I was a hacker or a thief, mainly because of Twitter labeling the material from the laptop being hacked and then banning the subject matter completely. But after 51 intelligence pillars of the intelligence community decided to call me a Russian disinformation campaign, and Adam Schiff went on CNN to follow that up, to express those concerns with the rest of the nation. It was pretty much from that point on, I was labeled a stooge of Putin, and Putin thanks me for his service.
So you don't have your store anymore?
No, I had to get out of town before the election.
He doesn't have a store anymore. He had to get out of town. So they say that he's some kind of part of a Russian disinformation thing going on against Hunter Biden. People go after him, and so what does he do? He has to shut down his business. So how do you fight against the bullies? What do you do if you're being bullied by a bully? Do you sit and do you just take it, or do you push back against the bully? You push back. So good for him. He's going to sue everybody, and everything's going to come out, and he's going to win. And it's a horrible thing that's going on with him. But it's the only way you're going to push back and get anything done is to push back against the bullies, and you sue them. And if some of the other people, Covington High School comes to mind, if any of the other Nicholas Hammond people come to mind, and when you're suing, you might come out victorious, but they'll still continue to say this, but we'll give you some money. Is that how this is going to work? No, you push back and you fight back, and good for him for doing that. Man, there's so many places that I want to go. Oh, speaking of pushing back, this is something that the American people should push back against, because for many, this is about as shameful a response as you can possibly get. Now, if you have a problem with the leaking of the SCOTUS draft opinion, and you're concerned about where the court's going, and many people have said that the reason why this was leaked was because they want to bully, right? There's that word again, bully the Supreme Court into possibly changing their mind. There's got to be one or two people that, man, if they feel threatened, maybe they might want to change their mind. Now, what does threatening mean? Is it that you're showing up at the Supreme Court and you're protesting and you're holding signs? Some might think of it as a threat. That's something that people might be worried about there on the other side of those doors of the Supreme Court. But what about the fact that now there are people that are suggesting that you show up at the justices' houses? That is not a good thing, and that is what some on the left are doing right now. They've decided that in order to pressure these Supreme Court justices to change their mind, because nothing's etched in stone yet, that maybe we'll show up at their door. Well, what does the White House think about this? Jen Psaki was asked by Peter Doocy, of course, the only person who would ask this question, and what you would condemn this, right? I mean, the White House doesn't want the American people to think that it's a good idea that if you don't like something that could possibly be a decision by the Supreme Court, or maybe even our elected officials, nobody in the White House would want to put out a message of, hey, listen, one thing you don't want to do is show up at their door, because that's kind of a bullying tactic that we don't like here. So when asked, is the White House prepared to condemn something like this? Listen to this.
Why wouldn't the White House condemn this leak? Are there any concerns? Do you have concerns about the sort of further politicization of one of the branches of government?
Have you ever reported anything that's been leaked to you?
I am, and you guys have criticized leaks before as it's been provided. So you've criticized in the past. Why not criticize this leak?
Again, because I think what is happening here, and what we think is happening here, is there is an effort to distract from what the actual issue here, which is the fundamental rights. I don't think they're at the same level. We don't think they're at the same level.
So they're not at the same level, but would you agree that it's still worthy of condemnation?
Well, look, I think there has been a call for an investigation by leaders of the Supreme Court. Decisions on that and how it will be pursued will be made by the Department of Justice and others, and that's certainly their space and right to make that decision in government. That's how government is set up. But at the same time, what we've also seen, Peter, is many Republicans who are trying to overturn a woman's fundamental rights try to make this about the leak. This is not about the leak. This is about women's health care and women having access to health care and making choices with their doctors.
All right, let me stop. So that is about the White House condemning the leak. So the White House will not condemn the leak. Now, many of us think that it should be something that is condemned. You could do both. See, the White House could do both. They could condemn the leak, and they can condemn what they believe is the loss of a woman's right to choose, which it's not, because, of course, if you know anything about the overturning of Roe, it just kicks it to the states, and some states will have abortion and some won't, and it's not that they're going to be denied. So everybody has to understand that fact, and there's more to it, but they don't want to talk about that. They want to make you feel like it's going away completely, which it's not. So they won't condemn the leak. Then Peter Doocy wants to know about what we talked about, which is the targeting of SCOTUS at their homes. Listen to this.
You guys spent some time yesterday talking about what you think are the extreme wings of the Republican Party. Do you think the progressive activists that are now planning protests outside some of the justices' houses are extreme?
Peaceful protest? No, peaceful protest is not extreme.
Some of these justices have young kids. Their neighbors are not all public figures. So would the president think about waving off activists that want to go into residential neighborhoods in Virginia and Maryland?
Peter, look, I think our view here is that peaceful protest, there's a long history in the United States and the country of that. And we certainly encourage people to keep it peaceful and not resort to any level of violence. Let me tell you what I was referring to and what the president was referring to yesterday.
Not about the yesterday, though, just about moving forward. These activists posted a map with the home addresses of the Supreme Court justices. Is that the kind of thing this president wants to help your side make their point?
Look, I think the president's view is that there's a lot of passion, a lot of fear, a lot of sadness.
Stop. Not once, not twice, but 3 times availing Jen Psaki to say, we condemn this. We don't want activists showing up because we know that it's not going to be peaceful. You know, I know, people that are here at Oaks Farm Seed to Table, everybody knows that they're not going to peacefully show up. They're going to make noise. They're going to have bullhorns. They're going to have all kinds of noisemakers. They're going to keep them awake. They're going to scare the kids. They know exactly what they're going to be doing. And so the White House will not condemn this. This is what the Biden administration is. Everything you need to know laid out right there. They won't condemn it. They won't condemn it because why? Because unfortunately, with this White House, they know who's on their side and who's not. And they believe that this battle is big enough for them to do things like this, which is appalling. And it should be to everybody. And unfortunately, it's not for everybody. So we've got that issue. Also, a couple of other things that I wanted to touch on. And I got to see if I can find it. And I probably can't find it before we have to go to break. All right, well, let's just, I kind of wanted to talk about this. All right, so quickly, before we go to break, because we are going to do Drew's College live right here at Oaks Farm Seed to Table coming up. Oh, did I hear a little scream? Oh, did somebody just, all right, a little scream. Somebody likes to play Drew's College. All right, coming up. So Attorney General... The Attorney General of the United States decided that Merrick Garland was going to announce something that we need to do in the Department of Justice. We need to find out leakers. We need to find out people that leaked information to the public about Supreme Court. No, not really. We need to look more into Hunter Biden's laptop. That's a big announcement. We're going to put together... No, not so much. Hey, here's what he announced yesterday.
I'm announcing 3 actions that the department is taking to advance environmental justice. First, consistent with the president's executive order on tackling the climate crisis at home and abroad, we are issuing a comprehensive environmental justice enforcement strategy.
There you go, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm applauding. This is not a good thing. This is a bad thing. Ladies and gentlemen, my applause is mockingly done because he's announcing the creation of an Office of Environmental Justice. That's right, everybody, because climate change is the biggest story and the biggest issue that we have in this country and globally. It is a crisis that the Department of Justice is not going to do anything to look into leaks from the Supreme Court. It's not going to do anything to protect our kids and not call people that show up at school board meetings domestic terrorists. They're not going to do anything looking into Hunter Biden's laptop. But they've now decided that they're going to look at us in some way, shape, or form, creating an Office of Environmental Justice. How's that going to work, everybody? What are they going to be looking for? Are they going to be checking whether or not you're dumping cooking oil out your back window or something? Or are they going to be checking to see how much water you're using? Are they going to be checking your carbon footprint? What exactly is this department going to do? I'm just telling you that we need change. We need it now. And thank goodness that the elections are right around the corner. All right. Let's do it. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. We will do this live here at Oaks Farm Seed to Table. We'll have the ever-present Mike Moody pick somebody out of the audience. And when we come back from the break, you can play along with Drew's College next, live from Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road here in Naples on Daybreak 92.5. Fox News right all along.
The right place for local talk. Drew now. Trey for the drive at 5. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All
Hi,
along.
Stuart Duncan here from Duncan's Diamonds. With Mother's Day right around the corner, you need to get your special love something spectacular and unforgettable. Usually the gift list is flowers, cards, chocolate, or diamond jewelry. But at Duncan's Diamonds, you can get all the above.
Yes, we want your mom to have an amazing Mother's Day experience. At Duncan's Diamonds, we are offering a spring flower bouquet, chocolates, and a small Mother's Day card with any purchase of $99 and above. We have the largest selection of diamond jewelry and estate Rolex watches at the best possible prices. Come see our collection of engagement rings, wedding bands, diamond earrings, bracelets, necklaces, and previously enjoyed Rolex. Amazing savings together with flowers. When selecting your diamonds and fine jewelry, you absolutely want them to be perfect. Why settle for anything less than the best this Mother's Day in Fort Myers on US 51 and the Gulf Coast Town Center and Naples at Mercado. Come see us.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Retire with Grace with Bob Grace, Saturday mornings at 8 to get the answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retire with Grace, a Tri-Found company, Saturday mornings at 8. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is Florida's factory direct window company. We manufacture, install, and guarantee your windows for life. One company, one call. Our replacement windows are made to better enhance the energy efficiency of your home and stand up to Florida weather. New South Window, home of the ultimate Florida window for you. Made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we know Florida weather.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
The Diamond District is a retail store selling at wholesale prices. Their team will help you to find what is best for you and your budget by walking you through the variety of factors that change the beauty and prices of a diamond. And you can be sure that with Jason and Todd, you will buy a diamond at a wholesale price.
92.5 Fox News.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
All right, it is the live edition of Drew's College here live at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road. And today the player is, what's your name, sir?
Hi, I'm Larry.
Larry, all right. You ready to go, Larry?
I am, sir.
All right. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you're in a PhD. Your associate's degree question starts now. Larry, do you know who the President of the United States was in 2003?
George W. Bush.
That's correct. George W. is correct. All right. You got an associate's, a bachelor's on this question. Let's see. U.S. senators, when we elect them, they serve for how many years? A senator. How many years did they serve?
Senators are 6.
6 is correct, sir. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. How many years was FDR the President of the United States?
So he had 4 terms, so 16?
No, he's 12 years. 12 years. All right, so 12 years. So let's see if you get a master's degree on this question. Think about this carefully. In 1962, we were having problems with one particular country pretty close to us, and President Kennedy was like, yeah, we're going to ban trade to this country. Do you know which country it was?
Cuba.
That's correct, sir. All right. Great job. Congratulations.
Good job, Larry.
You got yourself a master's degree.
Thank you, Drew.
Mike Moody, tell him what he won. Tell him what he won, sir.
He won a $50 gift card just in time for Mother's Day to Naples Soap.
All right, Naples Soap Company, 6 area locations.
locations.
Yep, and they are great. NaplesSoap.com is the website. Larry, thank you so much for playing today. We appreciate it. All right, let's take a break, Jake, and when we come back, on the way, scheduled to be on with us, the great Bill O'Reilly will be calling in. We're going to be talking about his book, Killing the Killers. And maybe we'll even touch on some current events as well. On the way, live from Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road, right here in beautiful Naples. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Spend time and money on spring break and enjoying the outdoors and save on your insurance. Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. Now is the time for spring cleaning. Cleaning up your policies and finding savings where you can. If spring means a move, a new car, or new drivers hitting the road, then consider us for help reevaluating coverage and costs. At Chapman Insurance Group, we can save you money for the same or better insurance coverage. Visit CIGFlorida.com, Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
Power outages are common in Florida. Any homeowner who's experienced a lengthy power outage knows the value of a whole home standby generator. I'm Nathan, one of the owners at Generators by Design. We live here too, and we recognize that a reliable standby source of power is a tremendous comfort and possibly even a lifesaver. Despite what Mother Nature may bring, be confident knowing you'll have working lights, appliances, and of course, AC. At Generators by Design, we install fully automatic systems for your particular home and your specific needs. With over 40 combined years of experience in the electrical, gas, and generator business, we guarantee your satisfaction. We stand for the flag, love our great country, and care about our customers. Call us at 239-689-8786. I'll personally come out, meet you, and provide a free evaluation and estimate. Online at generatorsbydesign.com. That's generatorsbydesign.com. Generators by Design, where your power is our priority.
We believe in better. A better way to invest, a better way to serve you, and a better result. We can help you determine how much risk you're taking, red flags that could be potential problems for you, how much you're paying in fees or commissions, potential tax liability, or even how to address Social Security.
Tune in to WealthWorks Radio with Eric Carney every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
When you need a new roof, it pays to deal with the best. King Roofing has built their business on a solid foundation of honest appraisals, fair pricing, and the finest workmanship. Your insurance may be paying the bills, but you'll live with your choice of roofer for years, even decades to come. Choose Roofing Royalty, and you'll never regret it. In Southwest Florida, there's only one King. Call King Roofing today.
Every castle deserves a king. Keeping you in the right lane for your drive home. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right all along.
More Ukrainians escape the hell of war. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. An official in Ukraine says they were able to get almost 500 more civilians out of the bombed-out city of Mariupol. Some finally escaped that steel plant where there's a battle going on with the Russians.
For weeks now, an estimated 2,000 Ukrainian Marines, along with innocent civilians and even children, have been holed up in the tunnels beneath the massive Azov-style steel plant as Russia bombs them from above. Now, a Ukrainian official is claiming a traitor, an electrician, showed the Russians how to get access to those tunnels, and Russians are now storming the plant by foot and with tanks, forcing the Ukrainian Marines to fight back, surrender, or perhaps die.
Fox's Matt Finn in Lviv. There could be another COVID surge coming.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says COVID cases are about to rise as at least 3 different Omicron subvariants are expected to spread. We're already seeing the impact with a 20% jump in hospital admissions nationwide over the past week.
Fox's Jill Nato. There's new fencing up outside the Supreme Court where protests have been loud after a leaked draft opinion showing conservative justices ready to overturn the ruling that legalized abortion. And those protests could follow those justices home. Activists calling for demonstrations outside their houses. Republican Senator John Cornyn tells Fox.
This risks violence against members of the Supreme Court and their families.
But White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says people have a right to protest peacefully.
I think we shouldn't lose the point here. The reason people are protesting is because women across the country are worried about their fundamental rights that have been law for 50 years.
In about a half hour, we'll find out how many Americans got hired last month, expected to show about 400,000 jobs created. Economists also predict the unemployment rate might have dipped from March's 3.6%. We'll see how Wall Street reacts. Futures have been down after yesterday's massive sell-off that wiped out the big gains earlier this week. America's listening to Fox News.
This news update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Wink News traffic.
Few crashes I'm tracking this morning. One in Fort Myers on Cleveland Avenue and Crawford Street. Doesn't appear to be affecting traffic yet. No word on any injuries, but something to keep in mind as 41 can get very congested in this area this time of day. Also a crash out on Alligator Alley, I-75 in the northbound as you head towards Collier County, mile marker 91. Doesn't appear to be causing any slowdowns, but just use caution if you are passing by. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Taylor Wirtz, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
High temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s this afternoon under mostly sunny skies. Any spot showers that form today will likely remain inland and east of I-75, away from our beaches for the most part. We're going to stick with dry conditions for today before scattered showers and thunderstorms come back into the forecast for tomorrow. Some of them could be on the stronger side, packing gusty winds from time to time and even some small hail. Eventually, we'll be drying things out, though, for your Mother's Day plans. If they're in the evening and afternoon, Mother's Day morning might have a stray shower or two in the region before we finally clear out all of those rain chances by Monday of next week and keep it nice and dry through Hump Day. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Nash Rose.
At home or on your phone, no matter where you roam, you can always get rightallalong.net, the new web home for 92.5 Fox News.
Youthful, energetic, happy, sexual, strong, physical, no fear, taking the bull by the horns.
Old, tired, joint aches, overweight, wrinkled, depressed, sex. I remember what that was.
In men, low testosterone can lead to muscle loss, extra body fat, fatigue, depression, and erectile dysfunction. In women, hormonal imbalance can similarly cause extra fat around the middle and thighs, lack of desire, feminine dryness, and exhaustion. Suboptimal hormone levels are associated with the development of disease states like osteoporosis, heart disease, and stroke. At MyGenix, we specialize in testosterone, growth hormone promoters, bioidentical hormones, and nutritional programs designed to correct these imbalances and make you feel revitalized. See why patients from across the country are coming to MyGenix and take the first step to feeling great again. Call MyGenix for a free consultation at 239-277-9999 or find us online at mygenix.net. That's 239-277-9999.
All right, it's Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples. And anytime I have Dave on the phone with me, I know something great is happening. And of course, we've got the new Dreamweaver carpets that we can talk about. And we know the installation time frame very quick, but we also know that there's some other things that are going on with carpets. Tell us a little bit more, Dave.
Yes, Drew, this Dreamweaver carpet, this is the hottest thing since 5-buckle-over shoes. It has a warranty for steps. We stock about 20 rolls of it. You can do the average set of steps for $750 to $850. We can do a remnant in this Dreamweaver for a guest bedroom for around $500. And we can get all these installed in about a week or less.
A week or less. That's what we're talking about. It's nice when you've got a quick turnaround, right?
That's right. Stop in. We don't mess around. We got it, and we'll put it in.
That's great. Now's the time to visit their store at 6281 Naples Boulevard next to Costco or online at floormeisters.com.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do. And
thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping keep the constitutional republic.
I want to thank you for
your support for veterans in the military.
Educating us.
Standing up for conservatism.
Giving us the truth.
Daybreak with Drew Steele.
We are live at Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples. Our first Friday live broadcast each and every first Friday of the month. We thank everybody for being here at Oaks Farm Seed to Table. What an amazing place. We're going to get into more details of everything that's happening here at Oaks Farm Seed to Table. Alfie Oaks, who does an amazing job here, coming up in just a minute. But first, had an opportunity yesterday, had a little bit of downtime while I was at Mar-a-Lago, having the opportunity to watch Dinesh D'Souza's 2,000 Mules and the President Trump there as well. Just an amazing evening, but with some downtime, had once again an opportunity to read what is another amazing book by Bill O'Reilly, Killing the Killers, The Secret War Against Terrorists. This is like a gajillion now. It's like, what, 16 bestsellers? It's just, the Killing series is the most successful nonfiction series, right, of all time. Just the books, BillO'Reilly.com, the website. And anytime we have an opportunity to talk about the books and have an opportunity to speak with Bill O'Reilly, it is always a good day. Bill O'Reilly joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. It's Drew. How are you, sir?
Good. Thanks for having me back, Drew. How you feeling?
We're doing all right, and another fantastic book. Congratulations, of course. Boy, I have to tell you, as I'm reading the book, there are things. The one thing that I love, two things, well, multiple things, but two things right out of the gate about the book that I love. Number one, anytime you do the Killing series, it's just, I love how it hits the ground running. All the books do. You have no time to waste. It's just, you get right into it, and I love that. And of course, this book is no exception. And then the second thing is there's always these takeaways, and I had a lot to ask about with the Killing the Killers book itself. Takeaways that I had that I think kind of roll into a lot of the current events that are taking place. So we'll get to that in just a minute. But first, the obvious question is, so why this book? Why Killing the Killers? Why the secret war against terrorists?
Well, this is the 11th Killing book, Drew. It's the first one that's contemporary. So Killing Lincoln, obviously, Killing England. This is about history. Those books did very, very well. But I wanted to write something that affects people today in their own lives. So you guys on the west coast of Florida, you live in a beautiful place. You're relatively protected. But you don't know, and neither did I, and neither does anyone, what's happening in the terror front. What are these people now doing? Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Boko Haram, all of these horrible, horrible people. And so we started to investigate, and I was lucky enough to convince the national security advisors from Bush the younger all the way up to the end of Trump to tell me exactly what's going on and how people like Soleimani, al-Baghdadi, bin Laden himself were actually assassinated by the United States. And we walk you right through each episode. And they're like mini movies. It's, people go, wow, does it really happen? And the answer is yes. And the relevance of it is twofold. Number one, unfortunately, because of the debacle in Afghanistan, Al-Qaeda is reconstituting right now. Yeah. And so is ISIS in western Iraq. And there's only one reason they're doing that, and that is to kill infidels, and we're at the top of that list. And the second thing is Putin. Everybody zeroed in on Putin, crazy Vlad, mentioning nukes and all of this. Well, when you read in Killing the Killers, the weaponry that the United States has deployed in space right now, that's what's constraining Putin. He'd be doing far worse things because he does not have those weapons, and we could obliterate him in about 15 minutes. Yeah. We don't do it because of the threat of nuclear war. So all of those things are in Killing the Killers in a very explicit way, and I wrote the book to get everybody a look at their country and where we are in this area.
So right away, the first thing is the details on the bin Laden raid, and so many things pop up there. The first thing that jumped out at me are familiar names. Names right now in the Biden administration that were sitting there watching the raid. The first reaction is, as it's playing out, as all of this is happening, and by the way, the details are just incredible. It is, like you said, like each one is like a movie. The way it's written is just fantastic in the book. But, the first reaction is, Anthony Blinken is there, Biden's there, the people that are there watching the raid as it's happening. Makes you think to yourself, all the names that we know now, you would imagine that they would realize not only the threat at the time, but the threat that we have now. And I guess it calls attention, and maybe you can speak to this, certain details about the raid, and then ultimately, what they know, what they knew then, and the importance of, well, like you described, Afghanistan, to not be there, and the position points that we have been able to use in certain areas that we don't have anymore, and how bad that is for this country to be able to do the things we need to do to protect this country.
Well, the Afghan situation was a debacle, and there aren't two sides to that story.
Yeah.
And it was, that's how we end Killing the Killers, with that. because we've got all this very classified information about how the 18 service people, U.S. service people, were killed at Kabul airport.
Right.
And it's just really disturbing. But I want to reassure people that the professionals that were in place under Trump, and Trump really dismantled ISIS. Obama started to do it, but he left office, and Trump came in and made it very personal. And it's funny because Trump doesn't really talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
But they were very effective, the Trump administration, in surveilling and assassinating, and that's the only word. They assassinate these people and tracking them down. And then when Biden took over, the professionals in the CIA and NSA, National Security Agency, they stayed. They're still there. Biden didn't change them. So they're still effective. But what changed was the amount of pressure. So today, the Biden administration doesn't really pay a lot of attention in the Middle East and in Afghanistan to what's happening.
Right.
They're more focused on Putin and other things, global warming. That's their priority. And that's kind of dangerous. And when you read Killing the Killers, you see how evil these people are.
Yeah.
And if they get more power, which they're trying to acquire, it's going to happen again. We're going to get hit again. And with the open border with Mexico, that's really dangerous down there.
Yeah.
So, I don't have access to Biden. I don't know why he does what he does. I don't believe he's doing a good job for this country. But, there's no politics in Killing the Killers. It's straight facts. A lot of it is classified information.
Yeah, I was going to say that, and I'm glad you brought that up. Bill O'Reilly joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Killing the Killers is his latest in the Killing series, The Secret War Against Terrorists. I would encourage you, get the book today. Don't wait. And certainly is a great read. And that one of the things I did notice as I'm reading through the book is how, and I guess I could put it this way, it really didn't make a difference which administration we're talking about, whether it was during the Obama administration and what they were able to do covertly, for example, to try to get Kayla Mueller, which, that story, talk about heart-wrenching, and, just be prepared for the read. It's the detail on this story, the Kayla Mueller, especially the kidnapping and the torture and just the fact that there was an opportunity late where she could have it appears gotten away because someone she was with did, but and then the story of it's just unbelievable. But the one thing is that whether it's Obama or Bush, the fact is that we do have a military that is head and shoulders above anybody else. And when we talk about operations overtly or covertly, we do things that others just cannot do. Other countries can't accomplish. And it's just remarkable some of what they were able to do to gather information, even just to find locations, even when maybe someone who was kidnapped wasn't in that location, how they were able to gather information to be able to find them in at a later date. But the description of how these operations take place and what these soldiers do and just the use of military equipment is remarkable.
And it should be a comfort to Americans, too, because our weaponry in space, I'll just give the audience one specific case. We have drones in space all over the place, and some of them are armed with missiles, Hellfire missiles.
Right.
Those drones 50 miles up in space can read the name on a golf ball. Titleist. A golf ball laying in the grass in Fort Myers. 50 miles up, that drone can read the name of the golf ball.
Wow.
It's unbelievable technology. Russia and China don't have the weaponry that we have. And again, Trump doesn't even mention it, but that all happened during his 4 years when there was a massive influx of money to what he said was upgrading the military. Most of that money went to technological weaponry. And today, that is what has frightened Putin, because he knows he could be vaporized like Soleimani, the Iranian, in 15 minutes.
Right.
Bang. All right? And so, while we are living in a volatile world, a dangerous world, we have a measure of protection, we Americans, that other countries do not have.
No doubt. Bill O'Reilly joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Killing the Killers is his latest in the Killing series, The Secret War Against Terrorists. Just an amazing read, and again, hits the ground running in detail like you just can't believe, and you can visualize everything that is taking place in all the different situations, and the research is just second to none. It really is amazing once again. And you know, you bring up Putin a couple of times, and even as we talk about the book, and as I described how every president has availed to them a military that is unlike any other, is that what we're starting to see, you think, in the war in Ukraine? The fact that as we start to ramp up the availability of weaponry to Ukraine, I can't help but believe and look and think to myself, the way that this is played out is not the plan that Russia had. I think they thought that they were going to go in quickly, and it didn't work out that way. The questions as to the military coming in and being able to hold cities, it's one thing to take a city, it's another thing to hold a city, and whether or not there's enough troops. But the idea that, I hate to put it this way, but I'm not really sure how else to say it, but that we could do better. Like, we would do it right. Like, we would be able to handle this situation and protect Ukraine far better than Russia going in to try to take it. I don't know if that makes sense, but do you see what I'm saying here? How we are just unlike any other fighting force.
Well, our military now is the finest in the world, as you mentioned, and we don't brag about it. I mean, we're not Putin and we're not China. We're not trying to invade or control. In fact, quite the opposite. Biden wanted to get out of Afghanistan so badly that he botched it and made it the world a more dangerous place by doing so.
Sure.
It's not a political statement, it's a tactical statement. But Putin is embarrassed, and his position now is a lot weaker than it was in February when he invaded Ukraine. Within Russia, the people in Russia, I mean, as far as what they know, they don't know a lot, but they are seeing 15,000 Russian soldiers coming back and being buried. And for what? For what?
Yeah.
And now there's shortages of everything in Russia. They never had a lot to begin with. And so Putin himself is trying to get out of this, but I'm not sure that he's going to be able to in a way that doesn't put his future in jeopardy. And, the United States surveillance, we know, we have people inside the Kremlin. We know what's going on in there. And that's part of killing the killers, is that the terrorists themselves can't even use a telephone. They can't make calls on landlines or cell phones. That's how sophisticated our surveillance is on them.
Right.
Because we know where they are and who they are. And, when the United States gets a chance to wax these people, boom, right out of the sky, they're dead. And no one knows. Because there's no reporting of it. It goes right into a classified file. And that's what Killing the Killers has. All of this information that National Security Advisors gave me, and it's the best reporting I've ever done in my career.
Yeah. It is a fantastic book, Killing the Killers. I would encourage you to get Bill O'Reilly's latest in the Killing series. Again, the detail that's in it, how everything is laid out, it is just something that when you read it, it does play out like a movie. But something that you did mention, and maybe it rolls into a lot of the discussion today, Boko Haram in Africa. You've got ISIS-K gathering strength, right? And coalescing in eastern Afghanistan. You've got still terrorists that are out there. To make the mistake, certainly there are people that may not talk about it. Just because it's not in the headlines doesn't mean it doesn't exist. They're still out there. They still want to mobilize. And that brings us to the border, which you've mentioned. The concerns, again, about our southern border. We're just not secure. The numbers that are coming through. Has there been evidence on our southern border of ISIS, Boko Haram, or terrorists crossing the border?
It will say. So at this point, we know 42 people on the terror watch list have been apprehended by Border Patrol. So we know that.
Yeah.
So if 42 have been apprehended, that figures another 40 have gotten in. That's the ratio. So whenever you see in the news, Border Patrol took 200,000 people into custody in April, that means another 200,000 got in. Because Border Patrol, with the way the mechanism is now, can only get a certain amount of people. There's just not enough Border Patrol down there. And for whatever reason, the Biden administration does not want to enforce the law on the southern border. They don't. They aren't. So we don't know what the infiltration capacity is. What readers have to understand, though, is that the FBI is in charge of protecting us from terrorists who get here in the United States, not the CIA. The CIA and the NSA, and those are the ones that I write about mostly. They're overseas threats. But once they get here, then it changes. And, it is a problem. How big a problem it is, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the fear is that we don't want to wait till something happens before we decide that a change is needed at the border. We can simply tie it up right now, get it done, and not wait till that moment. I think that's why so many people, talk about an impeachable offense. I mean, that is that.
It is.
That's the one thing, right?
The economy is the worst. I mean, what President Biden has done with the economy is hurting every single American.
Yeah.
It is absolutely horrible. And he will lose, the Democrats will lose in November because of that. But the border is second. And how this thing got to be a dangerous situation for Americans has never been addressed. The White House press corps sits on its butt, does nothing to try to get some answers. The guy in charge, Mayorkas, he couldn't even run a Motel 6. He wouldn't leave the light on for you, all right? This guy is so incompetent. And you sit there and you go, what the deuce are you doing?
Right.
And that's why I want everybody to read Killing the Killers to understand the actual threat. To see, when you read about Kayla Mueller, the young 26-year-old humanitarian worker from Arizona who al-Baghdadi tortured and eventually had murdered and raped, when you see that, you see how evil these people really are. There's no middle ground here. They have to go. And to let them into the country, it's insane.
Yeah, no doubt. And the book is riveting. I'm telling you, it's an excellent book. Killing the Killers, A Secret War Against Terrorists. Get it today. Bill O'Reilly, it's always fantastic to have you on. BillO'Reilly.com, the website. Go visit the website as well. Get your the book at all your favorite book locations. Bill, we'd love to have you one time. We'd love to speak to you again. Certainly visiting here in Southwest Florida. I'd love to see you and have you on again, talk about current events. And we always appreciate a few minutes of your time. I know you're busy. So thank you so much, sir.
Anytime, Drew. It's always good talking to you. I'm glad you guys are doing well, and have a good time down there. You live in a beautiful place.
Yes, we do. We are blessed. All right, all the best, sir. Bill O'Reilly, everybody, joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
There's a reason they call tasteless, stale food leftovers. Feed your brain the right way. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and I just had a Liberty Safe from A Locksmith installed and delivered to my house. I got to tell you, I love it. The perfect size, exactly what I was looking for. Andrew at A Locksmith, when you meet him, you will know that this is the person you want to do business with. He's awesome. The staff, of course, is as well, licensed, bonded, insured. Available 24/7, 365 with a rapid response team for all your locksmith emergencies or needs. So what is it you need from A Locksmith? Maybe a gun safe, jewelry safe, floor and wall safes, even commercial safes. Their Liberty safes are the best quality, made with great craftsmanship, and they have safes that are a perfect fit for any home or office. But it is about the people. And like I said, Andrew is fantastic. You're going to want to do business with them, serving Collier and Southern Lee counties. Now, you got 2 showrooms in Naples. One's across from Mercado on US 41 and in the city of Naples just north of Mooring Line Drive on Tamiami Trail. They've been keeping Naples safe since 1973. So visit them today at alocksmithnaples.com.
At FindMark, our commitment to clients goes far beyond managing wealth. We have a genuine interest in understanding our clients' lives, their families, and dreams for the future. It's doing what's right and being there every step of the journey. It requires time to learn what matters most. But at FindMark, we believe the better we know you, the better we can serve you. Visit us at our locations in Fort Myers, Naples, Bonita Springs, and Estero, or online at findmarkbank.com.
You can beat the summer rush by scheduling your $69 air conditioning tune-up now with Unique Services. An annual AC tune-up can save you money and help prevent costly breakdowns during the hottest months of the year. Schedules will fill up fast. Keep your family cool all summer long by calling Unique Services today for your $69 AC tune-up. Call 941-500-9819 to schedule your appointment. License number CMC 1250555, CFC 1429592, EC 13002942.
You need unique. Hey, this is Papa with Casey, Carrie, and Cody. And as most of you know, when Irma hit in September of 2017, thousands of people tried unsuccessfully to call a roofing company, but all the roofers were so overwhelmed they could not handle or even answer those calls. Now here we are, 4 years later, and many of those same people are still waiting to have their roofs repaired. So we are implementing our proactive list. If you want to be on our list, call me for our free total inspection. Once we inspect your roof, you will be on the proactive list. If or when the next storm hits, you will have no need to call any roofer because we will be calling you automatically to see if you need help. We can offer emergency repairs and tarp service or whatever your roof requires. Call Papa now for our free tile inspection, 945-2700. We believe it's wise to be proactive and it costs you nothing to join our list. Call Papa for our free tile inspection at 945-2700. That's 945-2700. Area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1326213.
If you're a small business, there are lots of choices when it comes to your internet and technology needs. But when you choose Comcast Business Internet, you choose the largest, fastest, reliable network. You choose advanced security for total peace of mind. And you choose fiber solutions with speeds up to 10 gigs available to more small businesses than any other provider. That's virtually everywhere we serve. The choice is clear. Get unbeatable business solutions from the most innovative company. Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and advanced security for $60 a month for 24 months with a 2-year agreement. And now with more speed to help keep all your connected devices running. Call or go online today to learn more. Offer ends 6/21/22. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New Comcast Business 50 megabits per second internet and Comcast Business Security Edge customers only. Equipment, installation, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Most innovative based on American Business 2021 Gold Stevie Award.
Looking for a reputable HVAC service provider? 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating of Naples provides a high level of service and value to our clients. To learn more, visit onehourairnaples.com or call 855-1-HOUR.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News, traffic.
Traffic hitting the red zone in some areas of Lee County. No major incidents to cause. It's just that usual congestion in some of those typical spots. Colonial Boulevard headed westbound towards I-75 past the Forum, a little slow. Also delayed on Daniels Parkway heading southbound from State Road 82 towards Gateway Boulevard and JetBlue Park. And 75 just seeing some slow spots heading southbound past the Corkscrew Road exit. Speeds around 29 miles per hour. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Taylor Wirtz, Wink News.
Wink Weather Authority.
High temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s this afternoon under mostly sunny skies. Any spot showers that form today will likely remain inland and east of I-75, away from our beaches for the most part. We're going to stick with dry conditions for today before scattered showers and thunderstorms come back into the forecast for tomorrow. Some of them could be on the stronger side, packing gusty winds from time to time and even some small hail. Eventually, we'll be drying things out, though, for your Mother's Day plans if they're in the evening and afternoon. Mother's Day morning might have a stray shower or two in the region before we finally clear out all of those rain chances by Monday of next week and keep it nice and dry through hump day. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Nash Rowe.
Joe Biden's plan for America? Recycled leftovers. Time for some right thinking. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Steven Tomatoes, sports page. Come for the food, stay for the sport.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. We wouldn't be here without the wonderful women in the world that we call mothers. What better way to show your appreciation to them on their special day, Mother's Day, this Sunday, than with a prime rib dinner for only $15.99. That's right, an 8-ounce queen-cut prime rib, baked potato, and broccoli florets for only $15.99. A special meal fit for the queen in your life. Stevie Tomatoes would like to thank all the amazing mothers, grandmothers, and great-grandmothers who work hard to give their family the best life possible. We salute you on Mother's Day, this Sunday, and every day. At Stevie Tomatoes, we strive for your complete satisfaction with food, service, and quality. I personally guarantee it. So bring the queen in your life and come to Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page this Mother's Day in Naples, Fort Myers, and Cape Coral.
Steven Tomatoes, sports page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Hi, Stuart Duncan here from Duncan's Diamonds. With Mother's Day right around the corner, you need to get your special love, something spectacular and unforgettable. Usually the gift list is flowers, cards, chocolate, or diamond jewelry. But at Duncan's Diamonds, you can get all the above.
Yes, we want your mom to have an amazing Mother's Day experience. At Duncan's Diamonds, we are offering a spring flower bouquet, chocolates, and a small Mother's Day card with any purchase of $99 and above. We have the largest selection of diamond jewelry and estate Rolex watches at the best possible prices. Come see our collection of engagement rings, wedding bands, diamond earrings, bracelets, necklaces, and previously enjoyed Rolex. Amazing savings together with flowers. When selecting your diamonds and fine jewelry, you absolutely want them to be perfect. Why settle for anything less than the best this Mother's Day in Fort Myers on US 41 and the Gulf Coast Town Center and Naples at Mercado? Come see us.
Well, is the little pill working yet?
Men, these days could be a thing of the past. This is Dr. Lou Spangler of MyGenix. Recent advances in non-surgical treatment for erectile dysfunction combining high-frequency shockwave therapy with the P-Shot, which utilizes platelet-rich plasma, can help restore your virility. These treatments help restore blood flow to the penis and rejuvenate penile tissues, resulting in longer, stronger, firmer, more satisfying erections. Both treatments are simple, in-office procedures, and there is little to no pain and no downtime. You can resume all normal activities immediately after treatment, including sexual activity. Men, you don't have to suffer anymore. If you have erectile dysfunction or simply want to improve your sexual function, call MyGenix at 239-277-9999 for a free consultation. That's MyGenix at 239-277-9999. Again, that's 239-277-9999.
Injuries on the job can cause you to lose control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar Levine. Money is not coming in and your medical bills are piling up. Our legal team is here to help. We can help you file all your workers' compensation claims to make sure you get the proper benefits you're entitled to. If you've been injured on the job, call the law offices of Anajar Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Naples. Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Have lunch with Clay and Buck at noon, right after Glenn Beck at 9. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Once again, we are live first Friday of the month at Oaks Farm Seed the Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Roads in Naples. What a great place. Boy, there's a lot going on. First of all, if you're hungry, that's good. 9 special food outlets all over the store. The Stir Fry Station is the latest edition. You're going to love it. Obviously, you've got the produce department, amazing, the freshest vegetables anywhere on the planet, the freshest seafood, the best selection, live bands on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. They got entertainment 7 nights a week here. And if you're thinking you want to stop by and maybe bring the kids, do it, because you can bring the kids, drop them off in the playroom, and have a date night, a night out, maybe even thinking Mother's Day. I don't know. Come on down and hang out, bring the kids. Yeah, they'll keep busy, that's for sure. You've got it all here, including Braveheart beef, top-of-the-line beef at Seed the Table, locally owned by the great Alvy Oaks. And make sure you make it down here. If you can't make it today, anytime you want, it's the best place to be in Southwest Florida. It is Oaks Farm Seed the Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in North Naples. All right, as we are here and it's Friday, hopefully I hear the sound of his voice coming up in just a minute. The sounds of Mike Opelka, pureopelka.com on a Friday. Mike, are you there?
Yes, I am here, present.
Mike Opelka, everybody. Come on now. All right, they're applauding you.
I appreciate it. It always makes me feel better. You and I have not talked, and I'm sure you've talked about it there. I'm scheduled to see 2,000 Mules in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Well worth the trip?
Yes, the Mar-a-Lago trip. For those that don't know, I wasn't on the air yesterday because I did get an invite. I thought I was being punked. I got an invite to be there in Mar-a-Lago to see the screening of the movie 2,000 Mules, Dinesh D'Souza, the president walking. I mean, it was just, I don't know if you've ever been to Mar-a-Lago or not. It's surreal. It's beautiful. It's surreal. It was every conservative on the planet was there, just about.
Almost
every single one.
But I'm not bitter. But good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. And the movie, obviously you haven't seen it yet, but it's going to answer a lot of questions. But I'll tell you this. Here's one thing that I loved about the movie out of the gate is that not only did I like how it was set up that Dennis Prager, who was in the movie, is asking all the questions that people would ask if they were going to question what they were laying out in the movie, the connections. He asked all the things, and they had answers to every single question, which was great. And then the other thing is, right out of the gate, it wasn't like even 5-10 minutes into the movie where they not only said, look, this isn't about Republican or Democrat. This is about the integrity of the election in this country. And to prove it, they talked about a Republican in North Carolina who tried to steal the election there by doing something nefarious with ballots and was called out for it. And they called him out for it. And good for them for doing it.
Yep. That's good. That's smart. Was Catherine Engelbrecht there?
Yes, she was.
She's a genius.
Yep.
And she is somebody I had the pleasure of being invited to one of her events 10 years ago that warned about the left's push to turn red states blue like they're trying in Texas. And she was absolutely right. But that's one of the smartest people we have, and I'm glad she's on our team.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, I'm trying to remember when she was on Capitol Hill and testifying, like her moment, you know, the minute that people, realized who she was and what she was doing. And I'm trying to remember what it was. It was another election integrity issue that was back. Was it about that? I mean, was it 10? It was a long time ago. I want to say it was 10 years ago.
It might have been. The project she was dealing with then was called the Testudo Project, and that's why I always say Testudo at the end of the show.
Oh, okay.
Because it's about the uniting of conservatives and protecting ourselves from the invasion.
Yeah, it was. The movie is a must-see, and I would encourage everybody to watch. All right, tell me some of the things that are on your radar today.
Well, I'm really surprised there's not more outrage about the new press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, the young lady who was announced yesterday.
Outrage? Why would there be outrage?
Thank you for teeing that up. Well, number one, she's anti-Israel and has been openly. She also came from Media Matters, and her spouse is an anchor at CNN.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. Wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
Who's her spouse? Do we know?
Yeah, Suzanne Malveaux is married to, partnered with the new press secretary.
I did not know that.
Yeah. See, this is why you and I are friends, because I get to feel important with stories like this. But the fact that she came out of Media Matters, which is one of the worst far-left smear groups, the fact that she's been openly anti-Israel, and now she goes home at the end of the day, and I'm sure there's no pillow talk. And I'm sure if this happened with a press secretary from a Republican administration, nobody would be screaming, "What are you thinking? How can we have a press secretary who's married to a big deal at CNN?"
No, nobody would say a word. It would be, yeah. Man, I'll tell you, it's that is. I did not know that that part of the story, but it's not surprising. I mean, it seems like it's.
But you couldn't get a more woke press secretary, right? How many boxes does she check? She's African American. She's a female. Now we learned she's well, we knew she was LGBTQ, RSTVU, whatever.
Yeah.
But she's also now connected to CNN.
Right.
So very closely connected to CNN.
So what you're saying is she's not ultra MAGA? Is that what you're
No, she's not ultra MAGA, but I am. At least I think I am. Last time I checked, I was. I'm also stunned by that. And that was not an accident.
Yeah.
Joe Biden is saying MAGA is radical was not an accident because how many times he said it. You know, he kept saying it over and over again. So it wasn't something that just fell out of his mouth during a press conference. This was planned. This whole thing was planned. But they're grasping at straws, Drew. How many catchphrases have they tried in just the past couple of months? We had Putin's price hike. That didn't work.
Right.
Inflation's transitory. That certainly didn't work. But, you know, it's just amazing to me that this is allowed to go on, that they continue to try this.
You questioning whether or not the timing is suspicious of the release of the draft of the opinion of Alito on the Roe decision, knowing that it happened in February and it's almost like it was tucked in the back pocket for just a time as, I don't know, I'll say it, 2,000 mules?
2,000 mules, and also 3 days before Kamala was set to speak before Emily's List. The massive political action committee that pushes pro-abortion candidates out there. So Kamala had a major speech, and so the leak coincides with that. There's also the timing issues to get this ridiculous new women's health bill that they're calling it out in front of the Senate in order to make campaign commercials for the midterms. It's an effort to save the midterms. It's going to boomerang. It's not going to work. And by the way, Schumer got caught pulling out the birthing persons mentions from the bill they're going to vote on next week.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that.
All that woke language is out, and they inserted more language about white supremacy and racial oppression due to a lack of access to abortion.
But, but here's the dirty little secret, Mike, and let's just be honest. Let's talk about the dirty secret, and here it is. They don't want to fix this. You kidding me? They say last week about the election 22, the election, how important it is, the election, and that we're going to have a vote next week, but the election 22. If they were able to codify this into law, the issue would be off the table. And then there's no wedge issue. They don't want to solve it.
No, they don't. They just want everybody on record, which I think a lot of people are now fine with it because as medicine and technology have advanced and we understand the viability of a baby at certain levels.
Right.
We understand that that Roe was haphazardly decided and it was incorrect. And giving this responsibility back to the states is the true dream of the founders, that federalism will take place and states will have the right to do this. Just yesterday, New Hampshire couldn't codify abortion. It fell apart. So the efforts are ongoing, and we're seeing that the vision of the founders was correct, to let the states make this choice and not to let Big Brother, a big national federal government, have all that control.
And I am very happy that one of the things that's coming out of this is the exposure of Roe v. Wade as a decision. Because you know and I know that every single time they take a poll on the Roe v. Wade being overturned, and you hear about the majority of people in the country don't want Roe versus Wade overturned, or a certain plurality or a certain number, that you just know that the people that are doing it believe it's because it means abortion will go away completely, and that's not what it is. And it gives us an opportunity to now lay out the case, the actual case, and to talk about what it is and is not. And that's important.
Oh, it's really important. It also exposes the fascism of the left, because if you don't support abortion on demand all the time up until birth, and in some cases these people want it
afterwards, yep.
Unless you support that, you're awful. And so that you are suppressing women, which isn't true. So it shows the fascism that's inherent on the far left and who they really are, a bunch of screeching. Don't get me started. We're on the radio.
I understand.
But how do we not laugh at the left? Yesterday, when Joy Behar talked about a sex strike for anybody who doesn't support abortion.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, yeah. She said, we should have a sex strike. Nobody should have sex with anybody who doesn't support abortion. And Don Jr. filleted her on Twitter. It is just fantastic. It's great stuff.
Why is it that every time you do Joy Behar's voice, it always sounds like Marge Simpson?
I haven't worked on a Joy Behar name because she irritates me so much.
Yeah,
the
that's
ironically named Joy Behar. I'm sorry. I apologize to Julie Kavner.
That's true. All right, so what else do we have that's out there? So what are the things that you're watching today?
I'm really shocked and appalled that Urkel may have been violent on the set of Family Matters. I don't know if you saw this story.
All right, well, here's another reference that Jake will not. Jake, do you know who Urkel is? Do you have any idea when we say Urkel? Do you know who that person is, or did you even know that Urkel was a person?
Yes, of course I know who Urkel is.
Oh, wait a minute. So wait, Urkel is, hold on, is that your generation? That's not your generation, is it?
It's like slightly before mine.
Okay, give us this catchphrase if you know who Urkel is.
Yeah, what's his catchphrase?
Oh man, I know this.
No, that's
Come
not
back
it.
to me.
That's close. It's close, but it's not it.
All right.
I know that he puts his hands in his pockets and like flares his feet out, and he's got the nice glasses with the overall straps. Or they're not even. I can't remember.
Or suspenders, maybe.
All right, for the people that are getting ready to turn the radio off and have no clue what we're talking about, go ahead and explain this story.
Jaleel White, the actor Jaleel White, who's all grown up and haired over at this point, but decades ago was playing a character of Urkel. Can I do that? Is now accused of one of his co-stars of being violent on the set. And the headline is much different than the reality. If you read the story, it sounds like a teenage star was having a fit on the stage and not actually being violent. But just like with the Bill Murray story, which is kind of going away. I don't know if you followed the Bill Murray story.
I did, because the only reason why I followed the story is because it's something that I talk about often. Number one, you got to pick new heroes, people. You got to pick stop going to celebrities, movie stars, musicians, and deciding that these are your heroes, or you're just excited about the chance to see them, meet them, and everything you think about them is so perfect. You don't know what their lives are like behind closed doors. We have real, true heroes. Our veterans in this country are real heroes, and they walk among us every day. And you have an opportunity to actually sit and talk to a real hero. But no, you reach out for some reason. I mean, some people do, to movie stars and Hollywood celebrities, musicians. And the thing is that he has a history of not being the nicest person, going back to many times on the set where he upset people, and so it didn't surprise me that this would come up. But then, as the story played out, it wasn't what it was said to be. I mean, with the mea culpa, what was it?
Well, of all places, CNBC got the interview with Bill Murray because he showed up at the annual meeting for Berkshire Hathaway and sat down with Becky Quick, and she said, "So what's going on with the movie?" And he said, "Well, yeah, let me boil it down for you. I did something I thought was funny. It was not well received, and there was a complaint, and they shut down production." And he also admitted, I'm from an era where what I did would have been considered funny.
Well, why doesn't he just tell us what he did?
Because it could be construed that it was inappropriate.
But people see that's what gets me. It's like, tell us what you did, and then explain how you could have done it before and why people are overreacting. And the thing is really that I think more people would understand if you would explain how things have changed and how you recognize it. And I did this, and in the past you may have, but now it's not. Well, tell us what it is. I mean, that is part of the mea culpa. You can't say this kind of cryptic, I did something wrong. Just explain it. I think
I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay, I would like to hear it. I would like to know but why?
You're throwing a kindling on a cancellation fire.
But what if somebody hears it and says, "No, that's not worth canceling. That's something that as kids people do, or the way we did this is just, I didn't mean anything by it when I fill in the blank," and people can go, "Oh, I can relate to that. I don't know if we cancel somebody for that, and if somebody's canceling you, but you don't know until you hear it."
No, you're talking about a ship that sailed a long time ago.
Yeah.
Reasonableness is gone.
All right, well, that's true.
The cancellations are going to continue. And I don't know if you talked about it, but I'm actually going to agree with the non-felony charges against the attacker on Dave Chappelle.
You're going to agree with the non-felony, right? Because the guy walked. Basically, the DA there was like, no charges.
Well, he got 4 misdemeanors.
Okay.
And it would have been felony charges if the knife gun that he had in his backpack was in his hand. If the law in California states if the weapon is within arm's reach or in your possession, then it's a felony. It was in his backpack back in his seat. So the stupid knife he brought, which should not have been allowed in the place anyway, would not have caused the felony because of where it was. So in this case, the very woke DA actually followed the law.
Huh. All right. Well, I could see it. Well, listen. Even what's the expression about squirrels that can't see or clocks that can't tell time?
Even a broken clock is right.
Yeah, that's it. Right. Even a blind squirrel can read a clock every once in a while.
Yeah,
something like that.
Exactly. Twice a day.
Yeah, twice a day. That's all it is. All right. Before we go, give me one good little. Give me a fun nugget. Fun nugget. I just said fun nugget. That was really weird.
I will tell you, my wife and I are advocates of thrift shopping and Goodwill stores and all that stuff.
Yep.
There's a guy in San Antonio walked into the Goodwill store, saw a bust for $35.99. He buys it. It turns out to be a 2,000-year-old Roman relic. It was in San Antonio. It had somehow gotten appropriated from an Austrian museum back in World War II and ended up in the Goodwill store in San Antonio, Texas. The good news is, after it was authenticated, it's on display at the museum in San Antonio, and they are reuniting it back with the Austrian museum.
Ah, very nice. So
pay attention at the Goodwill store.
That's right. You got to pay attention. That's why you got to shop there. You got to go in there and just buy busts all day.
Donate stuff too.
Right, and do that as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Good times. All right, Mike Opelka, everybody. The great Mike Opelka. Thank you for filling in for me this week. I appreciate it.
It was very nice.
Yes.
And Jake did a great job.
He did?
No, but I'm feeling generous.
Oh, Jake, he's just kidding.
He's always good.
Jake, the show can't run without you, buddy. See? And he's silent. See, it just shut off. All right, we'll see you. We'll see you next week, okay?
Thank you, brother.
All right. And that's going to do it for us. It is Oaks Farm Seed to Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples. An amazing place to be. Come by this weekend. Come by today. Come by now. All right, that's going to do it for us. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
Keeping it right here. We are 92.5 Fox News. And we've been right all along.
I'm Congressman Byron Donalds. Let's talk about what matters here in Southwest Florida. It's
talk about the
family,
fact you didn't
jobs,
call
tourism,
yesterday,
and
and I
the
was
constant
crying.
fight to push back on liberal policy.
Oh boy.